This is Jonah Hill, and you're listening to the only podcast that matters.
Throw Gang, we are joined by the Stussy Sniper, the Need Supply Sultan, the towering Toto Kylo Tycoon, the Baron of Buying, the Kaiser of Collaborations. It ain't easy being green, but god damn does it look good. The Imam of Ink, the King of Cabins, the Raj of Renovations, the Virginia VIP, former General Merchandise, manager of Toto Kylo and Need Supply, and full-time consultant at Juicy Stussy, Christopher Green.
Damn.
How's poppin'?
What's up, Chris?
Was that a better intro than the live show?
Oh, so much better.
Really?
That was on. James is doing his homework.
Yeah, man. I went to your LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Look at your last 3 jobs.
What a poor display. Yeah, I know.
You have a lot of, what's it called? Endorsements.
That's what's up.
What is that like?
This
is
guy,
that LinkedIn clout? I'm a celebrity, so I don't use LinkedIn.
I'm under the age of 35, so I don't use LinkedIn either. But no, It's like, hey, this guy really knows how to buy a season.
Who's endorsing you? Like Sean Stussy and Yoakum? They're also on LinkedIn. These old ass motherfuckers.
Probably.
Yeah, probably. Cool.
Probably. Yeah.
Well, thank you for taking a break from blogging on LinkedIn, Chris, to join us on the only podcast that matters. Finally on wax. Obviously, there's a version of this that will never be seen by anyone, probably for good measure, but we'll touch on that later. As you know, my friend, we're doing a fit check. Up top, the choice is yours. Do you want to go bottom up? Do you want
There's no choice. There's no choice.
Have you learned anything?
The guests are onto us. The guests are onto us. I think it's
always bottoms up.
Right. Is this what happens when you keep the same joke? When you just write no new jokes? Is that basically what this is now?
Yeah, I mean, you could flip it up. You could go piece by piece and go middle down,
right, middle out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but it is bottoms up. Always.
And maybe in some parallel universe where it's not ACAB fuck 12, people are like, oh yeah, I want to be a cop. I'm going top down. But like that's in Bizarro World, you know?
That doesn't sound like that does not sound like a real place that exists.
Yeah, it's not real.
On an alternate timeline. Right. But yeah, go off, dude. Let's do it, man. Don't shift the paradigm. Let's just do bottoms up. It's fine.
I'm doing bottoms up. I'm sticking with it. So socks, they're Nike, but house tie-dyed.
Okay.
So started with some white Nike socks and tie-dyed them out.
No shoes in the house?
Oh, no. I got house shoes. Come on.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
You're a sophisticate.
They haven't crossed the threshold, but I've got the Prada Cristos.
Oh, hell yes. Yeah, those are nice. Do you prefer? Well, I have 2 questions for you. One, you prefer the Prada Cristos to the Visvim Cristos? You want this like teched out version?
I like the teched out version.
What about the Dior ones? Do you like the Dior Cristos?
They got too much logo for me.
Okay, correct answer across the board. Here's the other thing. Is it corny for me to go on Etsy and buy the homemade tie-dye work of someone else because I don't want to do it myself? Is that corny?
Not at all. You're just lazy.
Yeah. You're not mad. You're just disappointed.
Yeah.
Does Lawrence strike you as like the arts and crafts type?
No, he strikes me as the instant gratification.
100%.
How quick can I come? You know?
Yeah. Let's go.
Lawrence treats sex like a race. We all know that.
That's what you're saying. Yeah, because
I always finishes first. That's it. He always wins.
Because I'm trying to win, dude. I've never taken an L in my life. No, really, it is the fact that I'm lazy. And again, as a celebrity, I would rather pay someone to do my dirty work for me. But okay, what color?
Can we celebrity.
Can we see the feeds in the chat?
Oh yeah, this is some great podcasting. Hope everyone. Those are. Wait, I can't tell where the tie-dye sock ends and the leg tattoo begins.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
they blend in.
They blend. They look
good. That's a blue, purple, pink.
Yeah, blue, purple, pink. A little bit of green hit in there. Ooh, it was just kind of remnants. Just remnants.
Damn, Chris. How much green with the green?
Tie-dyeing is like obviously the most like basic like DIY shit you can do, but like how much? Because you're a maker, you're a craftsman. How much of your own clothing do you like either make or tweak or DIY?
Almost everything that I have, I tweak.
Really?
Just a little bit. At least tailored. At least to get tailored.
Really?
Like a hem or like a
hemline, a narrow. I'll take long sleeves and make them short sleeves.
Oh yeah. Do you ever take short sleeves? Do you ever take short sleeves and make them long sleeves?
Make
Because
them
I think
long
that's
sleeves?
harder.
Yeah.
You
I
ever try to
actually
put
have done that
toothpaste back
before.
in the tube?
No, that's hard.
Yeah, it is.
You need special equipment for that.
Absolutely. So you're freaking everything. It's always a little thing.
You're a
here or
freak.
there.
There's a little freak. Yeah. There's
Yeah.
a little freak. Yeah.
Is
And I'm
that
not
like-
scared. I'm not scared to wear shit either. Like the point is like it'll get dirty. It'll get ruined. It won't be nice.
So you're a proponent of wearing your shit first and foremost, but also you can't sleep at night knowing that you have, because your taste level is so ridiculous, but just knowing that there's other people also up there, you can't sleep. So you got to tweak it so that you can rest easy.
I got a good tweak story about that. So I was in a market appointment, and it's going to sound like
Flex.
a subtle flex. It's a flex. It's a fucking flex. I'll just say it
flex
right
alert.
now. It's a flex. So I was in a market appointment. I was wearing green splatter dye Comme des Garçons shirt in the Comb showroom. I made it.
Is that like wearing the tee to the band to the concert?
Not really.
The
Not
band
really.
tee, yeah.
No.
No. Okay.
And
It was cool. Okay, we got it.
it was cool. And it was short sleeve.
Did Kawakubo-san call you a cornball?
Kawakubo-san called me out on it
Huh.
and was like, we should have made it in short sleeve.
Oh
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, because yours was tweaked.
Yeah, it was tweaked. But the thing was, it was always through a translator, not directly towards me.
You don't speak Japanese?
So
Yeah.
I don't speak Japanese.
What she was
No.
actually saying is, who's this fucking white boy? He thinks
No,
he knows
Adrian,
better than me.
I had a good conversation with Adrian
Right.
and Ray, and she said, that's our shirt, yes? And I said, yeah, it's from 2 seasons ago, but I made it short sleeve.
Damn.
And she was like, you're right. We should have made it short sleeve.
Did she
Sounds
also
like
call
ultimate-
out Did she also call it your Japanese character tattoos? And she's like, "Why do you have like ramen soup tattooed?" And you're like, "No, man, it's a family."
I don't have any characters. I
Thank
don't.
God.
Yeah.
Thank God.
I don't.
Well, that's got to be
Bless
the
it.
ultimate cosign, the ultimate compliment of
That's
all
huge,
fucking
yeah.
time.
Yeah, that was huge. Yeah, that was a good moment. That
Fam,
was
you're
a
the
good
tweak.
moment.
You're the tweak god now. Fuck it. No
My
one
man's
else
a
can
tweaker.
Fuck it.
My man's a
I can tweak-
tweaker.
My man's fucking
Tweak. Yeah,
tweaking.
I'm tweaking. Yeah.
Sick.
What's
There's a moment of validity, which is nice.
But like,
Yeah.
okay, so I don't know if we're going to talk about this, but you are a big, like you build fucking homes and shit. Like, what are your work fits? Because I know that you have like the fancy, you're a Prada Dada, you're a fucking comb
Yeah.
king. Like, what's the work
Well,
fit?
I mean, I'll tell you right now, the fit that I wore today, I finished building a deck in today. So
Okay.
a deck.
ain't no different. Yeah, ain't no other than the shoes. I wore outdoor shoes. And
When you say deck, you mean a real deck, not a PowerPoint presentation.
yeah, like
Keynote
a real
round.
wooden deck. Yeah,
Got
like
it.
a real wooden
Okay.
deck. Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
There's some confusion sometimes on this program about what kind of deck people are talking about. So I just wanted to
Yeah.
clarify for the audience at home.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, the only difference to the fit was that I wore the Solomon Snowmox out there working. Those are my work shoes.
Right.
My man
RX
puts
Nomox.
work in. Wait, sorry. So it's the fit that we're about to run through.
Yeah.
Beyond the
Run
socks
through.
that you built
Same
a
fit.
deck in, which
So
is
so what pants are you wearing then working our way up to
wearing-
build a deck in?
I'm wearing the DeVoe work pants. Support the homie Tommy Ton.
Shout out Tommy Ton, friend of the
Yeah.
program. Matt
Yeah,
Breen.
he's-
Shout out Matt
He's
Breen
the
as
man.
well.
Shout out Matt Breen.
Yeah.
Shout out that whole crew. That their updated work pants with like a little patch pocket detail on the front, exterior side pockets on the side. Nice heavyweight cotton. Good pants.
Do you
Quality
think you're the
pants.
only person on Earth, on God's green earth, that wore the DeVoe work pants and worked in them?
I'm probably the only person who's wearing DeVoe pants today on the earth. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I would.
And
I would
that's
say
not a slam. It's just like it's a small brand.
Yeah.
And
That's like
especially
talking about if you know, you know.
Yeah.
I wore it in one of our Fit Check Fridays. It's available on our friend's.
I owe
Seasons app.
Tommy.
Great
Tommy
brand.
has some shirts reserved for us, Lawrence. That
Yes.
I owe him a visit. But I'm
Yeah.
just too lazy to bike into the city.
I will
People should
say
definitely check it out. It's fire.
he makes some really quality stuff made in the USA, which was kind of cool. Like I know they're not running that program fully anymore, but like made in the USA, the stuff is quality. Like
And they're one
it's
of the
up
only
there.
brands in the world that actually puts on like a fashion show, a presentation that doesn't fucking suck ass and is like,
Oh,
actually
dude,
super
Tommy's
fun to watch.
presentations, his last 3 for women's were insane. They were so
He's a
good.
G.
Yeah, so many
he is a
hot
G.
hot old people.
Yeah, I never knew they existed. So many hot old
No,
people.
they don't. That was all. It was all CGI.
I will say
Yeah,
about
it's all
Tommy,
fake.
not just a fantastic photographer, but such a head, such like a true real clothing nerd like all of us. Like that's why he fucking excels at making actual product and curating the vibes around it because
Dude.
like he's a fucking fan, dude. That's
His
why he
archive
rules.
is insane. It's
Tommy's
insane.
the best.
It's unhealthy insane. Like,
Yeah.
My favorite quality about him, he's hilarious.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
He's
and
a great guy.
he's like the sweetest guy ever, and
Shout out
he's
Tommy.
always down to eat good food. You know,
The best.
he's down.
All right,
Um,
go cop up DeVoe. moving on up.
So moving on up from the DeVoe work pants.
So panties.
You want to go
No.
panties after the pants? Like
Normally
that's
we would
rare.
that would be last, but you could go panties now. Fuck it.
I go panties. I'm
What's on the
wearing
balls?
I'm wearing Stussy 3-pack undies. I'm testing them out. They're coming out in spring.
Oh, you're doing a little
Oh.
R&D.
Yeah,
How do they
Can you give us a
feel?
preview? What's the
Boxer briefs,
what are the
they're sick.
specs?
Oh,
what are the
boxer
specs?
briefs.
I know
Cotton?
they're not loose boys, but they're
Right.
good. They're good.
Like all cotton. Is there any
all cotton.
stretch?
All
Okay,
cotton.
nice.
Yep. They come in black. They come in white. They got the
Is it like a
logo hit on the
Stussy-
waistband.
I was going to
Sick.
say, yeah.
So this
Yeah.
is like proprietary. It's not a collab with Hanes, like
No
maybe
collab.
some other
No
fucking brand.
proprietary.
Damn.
How
That's
do
the
they
Chris
feel
Green
on-
difference, ladies and gentlemen. Get this man his fucking
It's
flowers
straight
while
up
while he can still smell them,
Stussy
motherfuckers.
for Stussy.
How do they feel on your meats?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Cradle it real nice.
Swaddled?
Yeah, they feel good.
Could you maybe get, well, you should definitely get me a 3-pack, but maybe that will convince James to get off the fucking long boys.
Maybe.
I'm trying to
I mean,
only wear-
I hear where he's coming from with the long boys. I hear it,
Right.
but I just don't know if he's swinging with that kind of heat.
Wow.
But it
damn.
doesn't-
I
it
mean, that's
doesn't
that's
matter.
a fair criticism.
But it doesn't matter what your dick size is. Like, no matter what, it's either like wadding your shit up against itself in your leg or just letting it swing free.
Yeah. Well, I just
And
needed the
having
control
a-
today. I
having
was
a-
doing work.
Oh, that's
Right,
true.
right. You need
I just
to be
want a
strapped
flu.
in.
I
You had to be locked in mentally and physically.
Right.
Physically locked in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Had to be comfortable.
Of course.
You got to protect the boys.
What's
Yeah.
the and then what's the sweater up top?
The shirt
tee?
is
Or a tee, I
Yeah,
can't
this
tell.
is a workshop need supply collab for our 20th anniversary RIP.
Mm, big rip.
5 years ago, we did a workshop install down in Richmond, and we made 10 T-shirts. They're just their white and black workshop shirt. We overdyed it and printed 1996 on the back.
Sick.
Yeah.
Tasteful celebratory
clean.
anniversary merch.
One
that
of
only
workshops
10 people
only-
have. 10 people
I
have
have
that.
I have 2 of them. So
Okay, of
another
course
You
you
have
8.
do.
20, you have
Of course you
20%
do.
of the you have 20% of the
20%.
world's.
Damn, talk about
The
getting
workshop
high on your own
need
need
supply
supply.
I was getting very high on it. I mean, it's sick. I mean, to have the workshop out of Stockholm in Richmond, Virginia was cool.
When did
Especially
you first get turned
5
on
years
to,
ago.
When did you first get turned on to? Because you and I are like big Legace lieges, but also just workshop specifically.
So yeah, I started working with those boys 10 years ago.
When you were buying for Need.
Need, yeah.
That's how you discovered the brand, just like going to like trade,
Yeah,
trade show or whatever.
Yeah, it was
Or before that, probably Capsule.
Before that, yeah, Capsule. Before that, and then the collection that really twisted it for me was the red happy face. I don't know if you remember
It was a
that.
t-shirt.
It was a sweatshirt. It was a gray crew neck sweatshirt with the red happy face. I know they got a cease and desist on that boy, but
From
it was
who?
just
Forrest Gump.
no from like Smiley.
What?
God damn.
That's a company. There's Big
It's
Smile
Smile
Inc.
Smiley is a
Fuck you, Smiley.
Fuck
Yeah.
those. That's not very friendly of them.
Fuck
No.
Smiley Cyrus.
Fucking losers.
Yeah.
Fucking losers. Whatever.
Yeah, that's the top.
Sick.
Yeah.
Is the 1996 like murdered out? It's black or
Yeah,
is it white?
it's white. It's in the middle, in
sick.
between the work and the shop, and it's just white. 1996.
Fire.
Fucking
You
gas.
got any jewelries on? Some watches?
Yeah,
Anything?
wedding ring.
Nice.
I got the
nice.
Daytona boy.
Hell yeah. Wow. You love
Yeah.
to see that on Throwing Fits.
Yeah, and then
What,
I got a vintage turquoise boy right here.
Nice. Do you have any
then-
opinions on wedding rings? This is a big topic of debate.
No, it's not. This is where
Yes, it is.
half the
Well,
audience is going to tune
no.
out. So
I'm
Should
not
you
even going to
match-
say.
Should you match your golds? Do you think that's important, or doesn't matter to you because you're like tweaking regardless?
Doesn't matter to me.
did you make your own wedding ring?
Actually, during
Forged it
when I got
yourself?
married, my friend made one for me there, and then she gave me one eventually because she didn't know we were getting married. It was a surprise. She didn't know that day.
Bro, I was going to say, how do you find pants that fit with balls so huge when you threw your wife a surprise wedding?
Yeah, that's such
Yeah.
a bold ass move, bro.
You just got to know who you're marrying. You know, you got to know what you're
Right.
signing up for.
She is
Someone
a
who
former
loves surprises.
former coworker of me at BPMW and maybe Lawrence. I don't know if her and Lawrence overlapped.
Two ships passing in the night.
Okay, good for her. Good for her.
Yeah.
Huge.
And before we complete the fit check, can I either get the reference of the Daytona or just like the year? Like, what can you tell us? Because that is
it's a 2012, and funny story, it's Aaron Levine's old Daytona.
wow.
You stole it from her.
Came with box and papers. I bought
Sick.
it analog shipped, and he was the one who was actually selling it. So full circle
That's
with
lit.
him is I worked with Aaron when I was 17 at Abercrombie and Fitch in Richmond at the mall. He was my assistant manager.
Did you work with him at club?
I was a stock. Yeah, of course. I came up to work with him at club.
That's right.
Damn. Right
Yeah.
from the stock room, from the stock room to the boardroom. That's
Stock room to
to the
stock
boardroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, and then I
that's
got
a
just,
beautiful, beautiful Daytona.
Canal Street chain.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Sick.
What about what's the number of tattoos we're going with round? Approximately
Even know?
1,000?
There's not a number.
Infinity.
Yeah,
all
it's
one.
just like it's like a full body thing, kind of.
Right. What do you?
No, not full body.
Yeah.
Almost,
your ass? Is your ass clean?
Oh, my ass is done.
Really?
It's blazed up. Yeah.
That's
just-
a
it's just
blazed
fire?
ass.
Yeah.
Blazing asses, dude.
It's blazed
These
ass.
asses. Your penis?
Yeah. What's
No.
your balls aren't tattooed,
No, my balls aren't tattooed.
but that's
Okay.
it. So you're
Yeah.
a tattooed man. Besides
dick in your face.
Your dick and balls in your face.
Yeah, my dick and face. Yeah.
Have you ever
Your two heads.
considered getting a face tat?
Never.
Yeah. Really? Why?
Maybe one on the dome right here.
That's
No.
Do you have
come
anything?
on.
Do you have anything
Why
on your
would you mean
hair?
why? Come on, you got them all over your fucking
Come
hands.
on. Yeah, do I look like Post Malone?
Do you have anything under?
You
Do you have
could if you
anything
had
under your
face
hair?
tattoos.
No, I don't.
What about why not the throat? Is that just like? Is that where you draw the line?
Kinda. It's just not my vibe. I think, it can be done tastefully, but for me, it's just not my thing.
You're covered, like, well, besides your hands, like just wearing like a normal crew neck, like you're going to be covered. That's
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah.
All right, Chris.
crazy
as
fit
you know,
check. Love
because
stories. Love it.
yeah, fit check complete. And as you know, because you did your research and you've been a fan of the podcast, and you now work at a brand that is mentioned every single episode. The
Without
three
fail.
main subjects of this podcast are money,
Ka-ching.
meats and cheeks, which there's already been a lot of meat talk and
Yeah.
cheek talk.
Yeah.
Some cheek talk. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Sex
most
and dating, I
importantly,
guess.
Blazing ass.
Mhm.
goddamn motherfucking boys ourselves.
Yes.
We're going to start with ourselves and talk about that for 2.5 hours, and then we'll get to you for a little
And then we'll
bit.
get to the last parts real quick.
right.
So you just started up a new gig at Stussy. And
Yep.
yes, Stussy's been one of the most consistently quality, legendary brands since 1984. And yes, they literally shaped the world as we know it. It does seem kind of coincidental, though, that as soon as the only podcast that matters starts mentioning it on every single episode and ripped off a design to make our shitty
You
Barstool
mean
merch.
81.
81. But 84
Yeah, so
was the
this is-
clothing.
This is the 40th anniversary.
It is?
Yeah, this year. Yeah.
Damn. Sounds like a perfect time for a Throwing Fits collab. My question is, why aren't we on Flow Team now?
Yeah. How the fuck do we get free Stussy?
I don't
It's
know. Where
bullshit.
are my
You think
fucking duck boots?
You think I want to pay $40 for a long
Sure.
sleeve t-shirt? Come on, get the fuck
Yeah,
out of here.
No. Yeah. I
We
mean,
need a plug, bro. This is the thing. I mean, we're out here advocating, and we're influencing. I mean, I'm a celebrity. James
We're
is a
moving-
budding influencer to be, and
We're moving,
need brand
we're moving
advocates.
hearts and minds and dicks and dollars, most importantly.
Yeah.
Somebody was in my DMs the other day. He's like, hey, what should I buy from Stussy? I was like, anything. Just buy
Literally
anything.
anything. By the
everything.
way, you're welcome.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah. So we'll invoice you. But yeah, how do we get on Flow
Everything.
Team?
Yeah.
Can
Are
make
you,
that
are you the
happen?
guy? Are you the plug?
I mean, you just have to be more relevant.
Maybe if we
in
get
the
better
States.
people on our podcast, not fucking people like you. Maybe.
Yeah, I know. I'm probably bringing the numbers way down.
Presumably.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, probably.
Presumably, for sure.
We just bounced
Yeah,
back
no.
from Nick Grant, but now we're
Who is
going
like
back
the
to shitter.
okay? Let me ask this: Who's like the Stussy guy out there right now? Like who represents the ASAP Nas represents the brand?
Hank
pretty well.
Corson.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
vacancy in
No vacancy's a good one. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
International Stussy Tribe. Oh, James is saying that the International Stussy Tribe has 2 vacant slots for Brooklyn retired professional podcasters, and we would like you to consider us. There's a lot of fucking podcasters to choose from in this borough, but we should be. It should be us. is
Yeah,
what we're saying.
not all of them are
But I
pushing
think-
that juicy Stussy.
That juicy
Yeah, I think, it's for
Stussy.
the, I think it's for the homies who don't don't need to be part of the,
The tribe.
IST that become IST,
Wow. So we're too thirsty already, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
We're too
can-
rich. We're too
Yeah.
rich.
Yeah.
We're too successful.
Yeah. You're too thirsty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
too
What are the
thirsty.
odds? Okay, if we're not getting out on float team, then whose dicks do we got to suck to get that fucking Throwing Fit Stussy collab going? Is it yours?
Oof. I mean, it doesn't
Your
hurt.
non-tattooed, extremely well-groomed penis.
Yeah.
It's just
yeah.
swaddled in the perfect boxer briefs right now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
imagine that at TF and Stussy collab underwear.
What kind of sway do you have? What kind of sway do you have with leadership?
direct line?
Wow.
That's pretty good.
Text David right now.
Just pay it forward, bro. Just pay it forward.
Text
man.
Frank
That's all we're
Sinatra
saying.
Jr. right now.
Yeah, Frank
Yeah,
Sinatra
David
Jr.
Sinatra?
Jr.
Yeah. I'll hit him and see what he says. Yeah.
All right. We heard a rumor a while ago that when we did rip off a Stussy design to make some
Saw
merch
that.
and sold like 3 of them, probably,
Yeah.
I don't know.
For Barstool
Um,
Sports.
It did not go unnoticed around the fucking water cooler at Stussy HQ in Manhattan Beach or whatever. What's Stussy's official stance on throwing fits?
Yeah, do they fuck with us? We show a lot of love, dude.
I don't think they fuck with you.
All right.
All right, that's good to know. Damn, what a fucking bummer. Is it because we stole the merch?
No, I think it's because they're in their own bubble, man. Like
Damn. What
All right,
podcast?
Chris, well,
what podcast do they pump over the loudspeakers over there?
head down and grinding. That's what it's all
Chris,
about.
thank you for coming on the only podcast
Yeah,
that
we
matters.
appreciate your time. Have a good one, bro. Damn, dude.
No,
Shit.
for real. I mean, obviously we're fans of Stussy, and yes, we're rich enough to
No,
buy it because we're not like poor. And it's relatively accessible, which
Yeah,
we
the
love.
brand is supposed to be accessible and it's supposed to
Yeah,
be
that
well
price
thought out
point
and
is the
designed. Like the
juiciest
price
part.
point is fire. Like they're not. Noah and Aimé Leon Dor, like they have a different level of quality and higher price point, et cetera. But Stussy, it's about the price point. It's about getting the
Always.
customer and that kid happy.
That's why young kids.
entry doesn't even exist, right?
That's why young kids fuck with it because young kids with no money can always like get into it.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is
for
democracy at its finest. This is actually Stussy is what makes me proud to be American. Well, not many things make me proud to be American these days, but Stussy is a thing that that price point is fucking real accessible and everybody can buy it and it's fucking good shit.
It's the
Yeah,
juicy.
love to
especially
see
for
it.
like the design integrity that goes into that and the work that
Absolutely.
goes into that product. Like they are conscious of the price point. That's conversations that constantly happen. It's like, how do we make this product and deliver it to our kid we're not going to crush their wallet?
Make the
Right.
graphic one color. Save on ink.
Take it from
Well, Chris,
us.
kind of talking about that. So I asked you today, I was like, what do you do at Stussy, bro? And you said that you bridge the gap between design and merchandising for the laymen and laywomen listening at home.
Woman,
does that
a
mean?
woman.
Woman, singular.
Yeah,
Lay
lay woman.
Yeah.
Woman. What
Yeah.
does that mean? What the fuck do you do? Sounds like a lot of bullshit. So like,
I mean,
justify your job.
it is a lot of bullshit.
Sounds like a LinkedIn endorsement if I ever heard one.
Yeah, basically. I don't even know how it happened.
You're just like, yo, connecting design team and merchandising team. Please be
he's a-
see
Yeah.
me.
He's a dot
just like-
connector with a
I'm just
wrecking
like-
ball attached.
Yeah, I just take all these reference images, put it in a mood board, and send it off, and that's
Easy.
my job, like all day long.
Easy
Sick.
money.
No, I think what it is having a real strategy when it comes to product introduction, timing of that product, how it flows out in the calendar, how it gets dropped, making sure that you look at your past sales and you can comp those in future seasons and generate the revenue that you need to generate to keep the train going. And then also make sure you do it, with a design forward mind
See, this
in that release
is
of product.
Right.
this
and
is. Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, it's working with, they have an extremely talented design team and collaborators that they work with. And it's about taking that product and making sure it's the right product at the right time, at the right price, et cetera.
You're truly the offensive coordinator where it's like you are looking at past failures and successes and plotting out how to march downfield, to use a sports reference. I don't know if you fuck with sports or not, but we're a big Sprots podcast. We gamble all the time on my bookie.
We're huge
Yeah.
gamblers.
Yeah. That's why we're rich.
Wait,
$1,000 double down, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Was the Gore stuff that came out, was that one of the first things that you worked on?
So the Gore stuff, that's part of the program. So it's an SP, but like that's going to get built into like
Right.
the regular product. So it's like they're going to be delivering stuff with Gore, and like to get a Stussy Gore jacket for $300.
Right.
That's like,
Actually, that's incredible.
that's insane. That's insane. The pant for 200. That's insane. Like, and the quality, it's tape seamed. It's got all the bells and whistles to it. Like,
sure.
and you're going to see that
was a banger.
Yeah, those projects are going to be built out. There's going to be like even more stuff with Gore coming down the pipeline that kind of pushes the design mindset and the fabric mindset of what Gore-Tex can actually do, and the branding for Stussy. It's going to be sick.
We talk about how the design process works a little bit, because like you hear that Stussy's like, oh, they're working with, or like, you know, this designer's from this brand's freelancing, doing some shit for Stussy. This designer's doing shit for Stussy. And you can kind of see that. And like, you know, I think like one of the online ceramics guys was doing a lot of like the flora and fauna stuff that was hitting, like for me was hitting a few seasons ago. And I don't know, like how big is the design team, and what is that process of like picking picking talent and just building all-star teams?
It ebbs and flows. Like they definitely have like a solid group of people who work on graphics for them. Cause that's such a large category that they do with graphic tees, hoodies, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And those all get pitched in and all presented, and everybody runs through, and like we cancel, nix, we adjust, change, whatever. But like with a legacy project, it's like a back and forth. It's Fraser
Dialogue.
AV. Yeah, it's a dialogue. It's Fraser and Yoakum talking, and, you know, Israel talking, and Max talking within the company, and everybody like sharing kind of the ideas of what it should look like, and it just gets dialed. You know, it is a lot of open communication back and forth, and that's why it feels really authentic, because it comes from an authentic place. It's not just one person leading the way and saying, this is what it should look like, this is how it should be.
A lot of group
and
chats.
all be all. Yeah.
And that crew, all these people you're naming, I'm sure those are fucking really dope dudes that you're excited to work with. And based on that, like, what was the first day fit when you're trying to make like a good first impression in the office? And I'm sure you knew your previous relationships with a lot of people, but like, did you think about what you wore like the first day, or did you even go into the office?
Did you make the same mistake as Comme des Garçons and just wear all Stussy?
Yeah.
No, there's no going into the office, you know. It's all
I guess
home
I was
office.
gonna say, have you been out there to Cali?
Yeah, I've been out there. I've been to Vancouver a few times. I've been to California a few times. I've been to Laguna. With that crew.
Hell yeah, bro.
And yeah, I can't.
Dawn Patrol.
Yeah, I mean the crew is sick. Like I started doing some work with them last year before the end of Toto Kayo Need Supply, and it was just cool to be on board with that crew and meet everybody face to face and see how diverse the team was, and see how dynamic the team is, and how they listen to like everybody. It seems like everybody's got a voice there, which is really cool to see, like the weight that they put on their store managers and all those, and just to get the feedback from all those heads and like collect all that data and stuff. It's really cool. Like,
how big of a company is Stussy?
I mean, it's sizable. They have stores all over. They have, big partners in Japan. They have big partners in Asia, all over. So when they bring everybody together, it's a serious crew.
Why is Stussy? Why do you think Stussy's so popular in Japan? Because I read a stat like from a few years ago that actually, like, I think 50% or more than 50% of Stussy comes from Japan.
I think it represents because Japanese retail is obsessed with Americana, and if you look at Stussy, like, it definitely has the ethos of Americana in it.
Yeah,
it might not be a straight rip from Polo, Ralph Lauren, or something that has that heritage background, but it's got that ethos of it. And Stussy, if you look, I mean, the brand's 40 years old.
Yeah, it's a legacy brand at this point, right? Like,
yeah. And in the US, there's not a lot of brands that are fucking 40 years old, especially streetwear brands. So,
right.
It's been this, like, I don't want to say counterculture or anything like that, because it's not that. It's been a culture brand, but it's been a brand for 40 years. It's been known, and it's been standing for something for so long that, they can get down with that, and they see value in that, and they want to be a part of that. And it's an American brand, which is really cool to see.
Did the Japanese perception change at all like it did in the States when like some of the licensing shit got out of control and it obviously got reined back in a way that like what talk about putting toothpaste back in the tube to some degree. You never see that with brands. And James and I have talked about this on the pod numerous times because we've just been so impressed by the resurgence. But like the Japanese, was it kind of like in its own, that was like in its own contained thing?
Yeah, I think they're, the international partners, like looking at kind of what they did in the past, they definitely kind of went crazy with it and did their own thing to try and meet the need of what their quote unquote customer wanted.
Right.
But it's cool that it's been brought back and a little bit more protected and guarded and it's all coming from one place now. So
sure.
I think Stussy, I mean, you wouldn't have been talking about Stussy 4 years ago.
No, probably not.
3 years ago.
I think 3 years ago is right when we started being like, oh shit, Stussy's gas again. What the fuck?
Yeah, it is gas. And the thing is that the brand team there has done an excellent job of reining it back in and like starting from scratch, starting over and being like, okay, what does Stussy mean? What are the pillars? How do we grow it? What do we look like? What are we doing? Why are we creating the product we're creating? And like, I'm lucky enough to when I work with this crew, I can actually see a full year's worth of product already. Like
it's amazing.
From now until 2021, at the end of 2021. And I can see the progression of how like fire that product's going to be.
Sure.
Where like, I'm looking at stuff that like, I'm like, oh my God, can we just bring it to market now? Cause it's going to blow everybody's, minds apart.
Like what?
I can't say.
Are you crazy NDA? I mean, we appreciate you doing this pod and like pulling the curtain back, but like, is that like,
well, let's talk about one project. Let's talk about a project that you're sitting on.
Yeah, sure.
Let's talk about a project that you're sitting on for a minute, which was the Legace Workshop collab, which like, again, you being the dot connector with the wrecking ball attached, were you involved in making that happen?
I mean, directly, not 100%. No, not at all. Like that's their team. It's not a one. Again, it's like it's a crew effort.
It's a tribe.
And the thing is, it's like whether somebody from the creative team comes in and is like, hey, here are the connectors. Like I think Tremaine was a big connector with Stussy and Fraser and Joachim and like getting that like those juices going. And it's the same thing with No Vacancy. I mean, it comes through Tremaine. It's like that group, part of the IST. And they're not going to come out and say, okay, this is tribe and this is the list of our tribe members or whatever, which I think would be so corny.
Right.
There's no spreadsheet.
Can we get shared on the Google Doc?
I mean, maybe there is some head back.
They're trading cards,
spreadsheet trading cards, but I just don't think that's the way it runs. It's about like, what are you doing? How are you living? Like, how are you living the Stussy life?
Yeah, sure. Bro. I mean, Joachim surfs, which is crazy. She's a fucking like 6'4" Swedish man who surfs.
Yeah, surfs, snowboards, and like he rips.
And he prioritized when he was a child copping Johns to getting pussy. So obviously, that he was rocking that Stussy, bro.
He's rocking that Stussy. Yeah,
hell,
a juicy Stussy.
But like looking at like, I mean, there's just since it's the 40th anniversary, there's still stuff coming in the the pipes that are just
Mackers.
Oh, people are gonna flip.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be sick because it's working with brands that you never thought Stussy would work with.
Like a podcast.
Yeah.
I swear to God, if you come out with a fucking Pod Save America collaboration, I am ending this friendship.
That sounds extremely unlikely, James. I don't think
I don't know. All right, but so going back to the Legace Stussy collab, which you and I were geeking out over it. You copped more than me almost. Is that the collaboration of the year? And the answer being yes. Why is that?
Yeah. I mean, I would say in terms of ready to wear, it's the collab of the year. And especially because the price point that's there, like it's not big fashion. It's
big fits.
It's quality product that comes from an ethos of sharing, old fabrics, old ideas, making them new, making them in the ethos that matches both.
Sure. All upcycle everything.
Yeah, it's all upcycle, and it's like Stussy Legooch. I mean, that's what it is. It's like it is the thing.
The juicy Legucci.
Did you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite piece? The beach tote, I think is what it's called. That I have. I just used it on a trip. That to me is like that's the best tote. It's so fire.
So I thought the 2-pocket denim stripe hickory stripe shirt was fire.
Our boy
And-
Chef has that for sure. Yeah, that's a smacker.
I thought that was sick. And then I also thought, like, under the radar, the white board shorts were sick.
nice.
To have the guts to pull those bad boys off.
Yeah.
Sure. Do you have the
Show off.
boxers?
Flash some dong.
Yeah, definitely. No, I don't have the boxers. How are they?
Yeah, James,
Great.
what's the review? The best? Are they the best boxers you own?
I
They
honestly
gotta be.
wish that I'm like, do I freak these and do I take them to a tailor because I don't have the skills and get like pockets attached to them and like
Yeah.
close up the fly and like turn them into shorts?
You should 1,000%.
They're that like
That'd
they're
be
so
That's the Chris Green method, bro. That's how you would do it.
That's how you do it.
All right,
Yeah,
my dude.
freak it.
Hell yeah.
You get a cosign from y'all.
hell yes. Hell yeah.
Sweet God, too.
All right. Well, if you can't tell us what collabs you have coming down the pipeline, can you at least confirm that you do not have any collabs happening with potentially a Houston-based rapper or a fast food conglomerate?
Neither are in the pipe.
Okay.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
I guess you guys are allergic to making money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good luck with
and,
that.
and- yeah, and I would say the one of the things that we have coming up isn't about making money.
Really?
No, it's about donating that money.
Ooh.
To a podcast.
Yeah, no,
Your Patreon. No.
to
Okay.
to the greater cause. You know,
Sure. Absolutely.
We know something about that. We're heroes.
Yeah.
Do you have a dream
Don't worry about
collab?
it.
Do you have a dream collab? Like now that you kind of have, you're part of the crew and like have some power and a direct line to Frank Sinatra Jr. Like, do you have a project that would be a fucking just?
Honestly, like the dream collab is the workshop items
Really?
because it's something that can run for forever and it can go down a lot of different avenues. I mean, with as much waste as is created and how the upcycle works, you can go from making, super specialized 5 to 10 pieces, or you can blow it out and make, hundreds or thousands of pieces based on what it is. And with the, Stussy has iconic graphics in its repertoire. Workshop has an iconic graphic in its repertoire. Putting those together, like
Graphics for
such a
days,
good
dude.
play. Yeah, it's graphics for days.
It's just you're increasing the exponent now. It's like,
Yeah.
The eight
Never
ball,
read
Yeah, I mean-
the 8-ball yin yang. Anytime
So
I wear
sick.
that bucket out, people are like,
Fire.
"Yo, I fuck with that."
Yeah.
They don't even know what
They
it is.
should
They're
fuck
just
with
like, "I
it.
like that." But they
just-
don't know
yeah.
it's like they don't know it's Stussy Workshop, but they're just like,
Yeah.
"Yo, that's what
And
it
then
is."
James becomes literally the meme of the dude yelling at a girl in the club about like, so the thing is the two iconic logos combined together.
When
Yeah.
Yoko was
Not-
16 years old in 1994,
Yeah, not getting laid. It's all good.
No hose. No hose.
Zero hose.
No hose. No, but I think the way to look at it is you got to find to do a collab like that. You've got to find brands that align with what you're trying to accomplish, and it doesn't have to be ready to wear. It could be an item. It could be this mug or this glass or whatever. It could just be different items that don't have to carry the weight of everybody's got to stand in line to get it.
right?
Does it bum you out that the Supreme Comb collaboration presumably would block a Stussy Comb collaboration, even if it's not something that would happen realistically like tomorrow? I got to imagine Supreme would never let that happen. And you're a huge comb guy. Maybe the biggest I know.
Who's to say it's not going to happen?
Okay. All right. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Why put the bad vibes out there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why,
Manifest.
Yeah,
I would
just
say
like how you
this.
got on the podcast. You manifested it from a live show to record a podcast.
Yeah, I would
With
never
collab.
say never. I would never say never on a collab like that.
Is Comb, that's like a white whale brand for you though, right? Like if you had to name, I guess we'll do Mount Rushmore brands later.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
know.
Let's do it right.
Combs is-
Let's do Mount Rushmore brands right now.
Yeah, could you
Okay.
even do it a Mount Rushmore of brands all time?
Yeah, for sure. For me,
Yeah,
yeah,
personal,
for sure.
for sure.
Dries.
Okay.
I
So
forgot you're big.
I got three left.
Yeah,
Yes.
unranked.
4 minus 1 is 3.
Yeah, Comb.
Right, of course.
Man,
How many little heart shoes do you have?
Yeah, how many CDG Play Chucks do you own?
Big fat
can't-
bagel.
You can't see it
Yeah.
at home, but he just made the infinity sign.
yeah, no, 0. I have none. I have none.
Not for
I
you.
do not have. No, I do, but I do have 4 pairs of the workshop Converses. So
Of course. you do.
Damn. I don't know if
That's-
I don't know if Chef is still on, but Chef, that is his ultimate grail.
That's his white whale. Speaking of white
Yeah.
whales.
Yeah.
Damn. That's a
I
fucking
got the
great shoe.
orange, the yellow, the purple, the red.
Wow.
Wow.
Embarrassment of riches. Okay, so you got 2 more
Still here,
two more
insanely jealous. That's very fucking cool.
What size do you wear, Chef?
from the clouds.
I'm a size 8. I don't mean to dox myself on the phone, but
Chef is a petite gentleman.
Chef, what's your address? What's your address? We can put you on flow.
Yeah.
let's not do this right now.
I got Chef because he's not asking.
Yeah.
Woo.
Oh wow.
Hey,
Okay.
I appreciate that.
Wow,
homie.
I see how it is.
See?
All right.
I knew, dude,
Well, I'm gonna put myself on mute and go have dinner.
Go leave.
I'm smoking a cig on the balcony.
Cool. Very cool. Hell yeah. All right. Wait, Chris. So 2 more slots
Okay,
left.
Drees,
two more.
Calm.
Drees, comb.
Home. Man, this is hard. Oof. I would have to put Our Legacy on there.
Really?
Yeah.
It's you.
I mean,
It's your personal shit, right? So
it's my personal shit. And
Yeah.
and the thing is like through when I look through what I have and in terms of like what I've owned and what I've invested in over the years, like I have a shit ton of Our Legacy, and it's not because the price point was palatable for the design. It's because the design was so good.
Because you got it for free from
Yeah.
Milcom.
Yeah. And then potentially, oh man, this is tough.
Well, Our Legacy's been around for 10 years, right?
Yeah.
More?
14.
14.
15,
So the
14,
catalog,
yeah.
there's a lot to choose from. I don't know if people are just finding out about this brand because
Yeah.
they listen to our stupid ass podcast, but there is like, how many fucking label changes have they gone through? It's almost like you
Yeah.
could do
3 or
like
4.
an archive page Instagram post like Patagonia. They have some history. That's a deep catalog. I
Yeah.
feel that.
Yeah. I feel
And
it.
the collections
I'm into
are
it.
and the collections are not small. They are robust.
No, they're huge.
No,
They make a ton
they're
of product.
gigantic. They're gigantic. And
All right,
then
Who's number 4?
Supreme, obviously, right? You love Supreme.
no, I think I own 2 Supreme pieces.
What are they? I would love to know.
I own 3 Supreme pieces.
What
Pat
are
McGrath
have-
lipstick.
I have I have a Supreme Morrissey t-shirt.
Okay. A lot of beef. That one famously kind of blew up.
That
was
got some
awesome.
beef. Yeah. I got that.
Beef, no pun intended, because Morrissey is most notably a vegan.
Vegan, yeah. The
Very good
reversible leopard black fleece jacket.
Yep, I have that as well.
Yep. And then I've got the Supreme Barber leopard.
I have that as well. See, this
There
is,
we
come
go.
on,
Yeah.
man. If people ever doubted that my taste level was
Chris,
up
how
there
much
with
do
the
you-
best to ever do it, you could suck
How
my
much
dick.
do you kind of hate yourself right now? That 66% of your Supreme collection is mirrored by my
I
friend
own a
Larry.
lot. I own a lot. So regardless of what he was going to have, I was probably going to
He's
have
probably
it.
going
as
to
well.
have it. Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean,
you're
no
flattered.
bogos.
But what you're saying is
Yeah.
you're flattered, and we're
I'm flattered.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're brothers in arms.
Is that just
Yeah.
like for some people like myself, it's just never for them? Like, is that just because you were never like a Northeast skater kid growing up? Like, what just
I'm
never connected with you?
I'm not 15. So
Ooh, free smoke.
yeah.
Free smoke.
I don't
Is
know.
there-
What's number 4? What's number 4?
Oh yeah.
Man.
I always thought you were Prada Dada. Maybe I was wrong.
I am. And I want to put Muccia up there. I want to put her up there.
but Raf. So
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
But
yeah.
Raf's a man.
Yeah, but Raph.
So-
Yeah. All right, let's put Muccia up there.
There
All right.
it is.
That's
Some
the four.
representation, baby. You
Yeah.
love to see
There
it.
it
I mean, she's a goat. I mean, you could, if you were like the best designers in the history of the world, if you did that,
Yeah.
you could, she's on there, you
Yeah.
could, no one
I
would
mean,
be like, come on. She's
Same
that good.
path as Ralph Lauren. Started selling ties and built it out.
that's Mr.
It all
Lifshitz,
starts with ties, kids.
Yeah, it all starts with ties.
Learn
Pretty
how to
silk
tie
ties.
one, because I know that
Yeah.
no one listening to this podcast knows how to tie a foreign hand.
Speaking of kids, Chris, what is, and maybe this is where we can help you, what is Stussy's TikTok strategy? Because I noticed that you guys are not on the platform.
Yeah, not happening.
How do you, well, in all seriousness then, like how does a brand that's 40 years old continue
I would
to
say-
tap into new audiences?
I would say they got a pretty big flex. They have 4 million followers and they only follow one other person, which is the Stussy archive.
Kind of a flex, kind of corny,
Yeah,
but kind of a flex.
Yeah, kind of a flex.
But
Yeah.
how do they, like, I know it's not necessarily your job. I mean, it's kind of everyone's job. Like, how does Stussy continue to just like convert fans with
Yeah.
every like micro
would say-
generation?
I would say it's their, they stay true to their brand and their heritage, which, they put out mixtapes, they put out activations, they're on the streets. Like if you looked at their and interacted with their guys and girls that work at the chapter stores, like, all those kids are sick, they're tapped in, like they know everybody, they hang with everybody, they're cool with everybody. So like, it's about that grassroots feel. Like Stussy still has that grassroots feel, no matter how digitally native everything's gotten, they still have that grassroots feel, you know, which is kind of cool.
It's like, what do you mean? That's their community just feels tangible in a way, right? That's like hard. You can't fake the funk on that, right?
No, you can't fake it. No, it's authentic. That's the deal. It's authentic. It's not like, you know, they might be creating product, but you're never going to come from the mindset that they're creating product just to bang bucks. Like, I mean, use our legacy collab. Like, they didn't do that to bang bucks. They're not like, oh, we're partnering with this big ass brand because they're bigger than us and they're going to create, you know, more visible eyes to X, Y, and Z consumer. It's more like, hey, like, those guys are cool. We're cool. We're into the West Coast. They're into the West Coast. Like, we're into surf. They're into surf. Let's talk about it. Let's see what it looks like. This is what Scandinavian beach looks like to us.
The store element's interesting because like you have such a extensive background in retail, and this is something we were talking about with Gian last week. Was like a store. You know, a store is good if the people working the store are like cool enough to give you fire recommendations if you're visiting that city. And in LA, like it's like, I mean, Stussy still, while huge, is still like it's undefeated, and then it's Union LA. And then you skip over undefeated and you go into the Stussy store and like, they're still in the fucking mix. Like you said.
Yeah. They're in the mix. I mean, it was the same thing. Like the Stussy store in New York is the old Union store
On Worcester?
Yeah. No,
is it? Wait, it's on
Worcester.
Yeah,
on
on Spring Street.
It's on Spring Street.
On Spring.
Yeah.
It used to be on Worcester. Yeah.
That was the OG Union store.
Yeah.
I did not know that. That's fucking sick. That's a very small store, but it's a great
factoid.
store.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But like that's the community, you know,
Right.
that's how it is. You know, it's real like that.
Torch bearing type shit.
Speaking of passing the baton, speaking of things coming full circle, you mentioned this, that when you're 17, you worked with Aaron Levine at an Abercrombie. Were you really hot and had abs? Like, were you one of the guys in the front of the store?
No, I was told to get in the back because I wasn't cool enough.
Really?
Yeah.
Was this like a she's all that thing because you had glasses on and they just needed you to take them off because you're a very handsome man?
Were you like, just you wait, I'm gonna go get my ass tattooed and we'll.
Yeah, how busted were you in high school, bro? What the fuck?
I mean, it was like four of us that all had to work in the back because we were like straight edge idiot punk kids that had to work in the back. Yeah.
Right. Did you think to find a more an employer that was more in line with your personal branding at the time?
I got a job there just because my friend worked in the back. So
get back there with the other fucking ex-hand tattooers.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
So you were doing it for money, not for like the love of the game.
No, that was not for the love of the game. No.
And Aaron was your assistant manager?
Yeah.
Was he a good boss?
Man, I don't even remember.
Really?
Well, let's talk about. So
you were straight edge at the time, so it's not like you smoked them or drank those memories away.
Yeah,
so
but that was like
clearly didn't make an impression on you.
Yeah, it was like 25 years ago.
He is one of the
anything. So
yeah, he is one of the nicest, coolest guys out there.
Yeah, he was,
and you know, it obviously made some sort of impression on you because you then worked with him at Club.
Yep.
But I noticed on your LinkedIn you left that job after only 8 months. So like, what's his dark secret? Like, why?
Wasn't his dark secret. No, it wasn't his. I was working with Aaron. He's a design director at the time, and I worked in the merchandising wing. And it was more in line with, John Mijas, who was the CEO at the time. I just couldn't get down with that guy. Like the work environment was not healthy. I mean, Aaron can tell you that all day long. There's a big reason why Aaron's still not there. I mean, he crushed Club. Like what we did with Club was awesome.
Right.
And like turn that mall brand into something super special. And, you know, you usually stick around as long as you can for a thing like that. So to leave that, is pretty toxic.
Yeah, that's a bummer because that shit is a fucking dub now. Like no one gives a fuck, right? Like
nobody gives a shit.
The relevance was there, and it was like being snatched, and like what you guys were doing was so sick. And then it's like you lose those people because you treat them like shit or whatever, and then it's gone.
Yeah, it's all gone.
Like
it's all
doing
gone.
The fucking work.
And they just had a rotating list of people keep coming through. It just hasn't worked.
Right,
hasn't worked. Yeah, but I mean, look what he's done with Abercrombie. He's fucking crushing it.
Yeah.
Do you kind of clash with authority often, or is that just like that was a one-off type beat?
That was a one-off.
You're a pretty agreeable guy. Like
I was
you're
gonna say, you
intimidating.
seem easygoing, fun to work with.
You look intimidating, but like once you get past the ass tattoos, like you're a nice guy.
Yeah. That was a total one-off. It was a strange environment. I mean, it was crazy.
Fucking Canadians, bro. Is Aaron the best boss you ever had?
No, he wasn't my boss. I actually reported directly to him, but he was probably one of the most interesting people I've ever worked with. Like in terms of like product knowledge, fabric knowledge. I mean, the dude goes crazy deep into everything he does. Like you're like, oh, I like this like obscure record. He's like, well, here's 20 other obscure records.
No half stepping, right? Like no half stepping.
I don't understand how he has time to do the research that he fucking does.
Oh, he just completely neglects his children. That's all.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, but there's very few people like that. Gian's one of those people who also does the same thing. It's like that brain. That's all they do is like constant search.
Beautiful minds.
How do you rate yourself against guys like that? Like, are you like a product guy? Are you like a reference guy? Like, where like your player attributes, right? Like where do you think you're strongest? Mine would be bullshitting.
Yeah. I don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
I think reference wise, I'm pretty good. I can look at what you're wearing and say, okay, I know when that's from, where it came from, etc. I'm what I'm working on and what I've been really, getting more into is fabric and fabric execution in terms of what it can turn into, like what this fabric can actually be used for, like just seeing it, touching it, feeling the weight, looking at it, being like, okay, I know I can make outerwear out of this. I can make bottoms out of this. I can do all these different things with it. And what does it mean to the business, etc. Like that's where
you're an aspiring swatch god.
Swatchman. Yeah. Swatchman.
Who swatches the Swatchman?
Wait, James, what's your greatest asset?
I think just gut, just gut and people.
Instincts.
Just knowing good people and knowing bad people and not fucking with those bad people.
Being connected.
So, okay. All right. Good to know.
He's a coxman.
Yeah. I'm a coxswain.
Your horniness is the correct answer.
Yeah,
your horniness is your greatest attribute. And also your greatest weakness, which is weird when you bring it up in job interviews.
I'm a Flothario, if you will. Speaking of strengths, though, Chris, you went straight from the Virginia Military Institute, which I was going to ask if you ever killed a guy, but I don't know if that's cool to ask. You went from the Virginia Military Institute to becoming the men's buyer, need supplies. So like, what military skills do you apply to copying John?
Zero. I started working at Need Supply in '97.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's not on
when did
LinkedIn,
they launch?
dog.
When did they launch?
96, the T. 96 on the back, right? Bitch.
Yeah. So I started in high school there. And
did they put you in the back too?
No, I was slinging denim. I got to the point where like someone would walk in, I'd be like, oh, yo, if you're a girl, you're a 25 or 26. If you're a guy, you're a 32, blah, blah, blah. Just by looking at it.
Did you ever offend any women?
Yeah.
Oh, always. Yeah.
Damn.
Especially when you're wrong. Oh, you're a 27 and it's not a 27.
Sure. Right.
It's the worst. No, but I started working with them back in the day and slinging denim and, just learning that trade. And they had at that time, Chris Pasola, the founder, had a partner, Jason, and that dude was just like a denim nerd, like totally would geek out. And denim was cool, man. Denim was cool back in the day, and
still is.
Not even first of all, not even cool, dude. It was like it still is for people. It's a lifestyle, dude. If that's what you're into, that's the thing.
And I was going to say, like, you talk about getting into fabrics and textiles now. Like, what about when you're in the fucking denim region of at least East Coast America, and like Need Supply was known for its denim program for me.
Yeah. I mean, it was interesting to learn a lot about like how it's made, what like the different treatments on it. I mean, and Jason, he would have these crazy workshops. He'd be like, oh, I took coffee beans XYZ and ground it into my denim, and this is what it turned out to be. Like, use it.
Delicious.
It was just wild. The dude was like on a different level. He was crazy. But the thing is like you learn a lot. And, one of the things that I learned the most during that young period of time was just to listen. A lot of people come out the gates and they listen for a minute and then they have an opinion on everything. But a lot of it was to listen.
Right.
And then, I went to school and I came back and I was working with like kind of freelancing with them on the side because they brought on a creative director and he just kept hitting me up for brand suggestions. And at a certain point I was just like, hey dude, like my information's not free. Yeah, my information's not free.
Respect.
And you got to know your value. You got to know your worth. And I created a position there that they didn't have. I created a buying position, and just got more and more involved in it. And I got to do from working there at a young age, I got to do everything from fulfillment in the warehouse, from working in the store, working on the studio, receiving POs, shipping orders out, like the whole 9 yards.
How invaluable is that education in all parts of the business?
What it does is it makes you understand other people's issues, like your other teams that you have to work with, like in the future, when you, like, let's say you become, a higher up level or whatever, you get to understand, I know what studio is dealing with on the styling part of things. Like, I know why there's a lag on getting stuff online, or I know what's going on with the FC and the issues with receiving the product or shipping it out. Like you can, since you've been in their shoes, you kind of know what's up.
And you can translate and speak that language. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So which
is kind of like what you're doing now at Stussy, right?
It sounds like what you're doing at Toto and Need Supply at the end there, where you're general merchandising manager, which is like kind of, again, just being the absolute offensive coordinator. And and the thing is with being at Toto Kai Need Supply, I oversaw men's buying, women's buying, and home goods buying. So like that program, but like, it doesn't mean I'm in every appointment seeing everything, but at the end of the day, I do end up seeing everything because I review everything and we go through the bigger strategy. But then you have a team that helps you build that strategy out and actually, go through the parts and pieces to make it come together. Yeah.
But like, it's invaluable, like working from the ground up, like learning all those, like you might, people might not see value in like, grinding like that, but there's value in it. Like it's a huge value in grinding.
I'm trying to teach Lawrence that his actions have consequences as they ripple out in the little podcast universe we have. Cause like, for example, if he sends a title and description at midnight, I might not be able to upload the YouTube video until the next morning.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I was on vacation. The thing that I took away from that is if you're a kid listening to this and you're grinding at like some retail job and you hate it, instead of going home at night and being like, I want to kill myself, or I want to do, like, soak it all up and learn some shit, and it's only going to make you better. And
I would say like that's huge. And then the other part is knowing your worth, but knowing what your true value is.
Right. What you're good at.
Not this inflated value that, you owe me X, Y, and Z.
Right.
It's like your true value. Because I left Need Supply when I had a good job. I was a buyer there, and I moved up to New York, but I moved up to, learn more.
Sure.
Learn direct and get paid a little bit better, but learn more.
Right.
Let's talk about Need Supply and Toto for a second.
RIP.
Big RIP. All these stores are collapsing, and for me, I think like Need Supply has always been one of my favorite stores. It was one of the first stores that I like shopped at when I started working BPMW and like actually having a salary. I bought a Herschel Supply backpack, was my first ever Need Supply cop, and it came with some stains on the inside, and they like immediately replaced it. And I was like, that's cool. Yeah. Toto Kayo, like obviously just legendary,
sure,
huge,
so sick, yeah,
kind of just bringing like fashion with a capital F in a very interesting way to the US.
Yeah.
How not to like relive your pain and trauma and to revel in it and to like do some trauma porn, but like how bummed were you when like the fucking news came that they were shutting down?
I mean, I was on the leadership team, so like being that ingrained with the team, like we could see it coming,
right?
And we worked really hard on various models. We put together various financial models on how to keep it going. And at the end of the day, every model we put together just didn't work.
Yeah, it was a wrap.
It was a wrap. And before that announcement came, it might have felt sudden for a lot of people, but I was living with that announcement for 4 months or 5 months before it actually came out. And, working behind the scenes to try and, wrap up or wind up the business as best as we could before that announcement was made is really challenging. I mean, you build a lot of relationships with these brands that you've had for, 10, 15 years. And to call it a season and that's it. It's like, it's over, it's done. It was a challenge. I mean, it sucks because, I had a team who works for me, everybody had to go. It's a tough position to be in, but I think the cool thing is like, that experience of going out of business is something that I understand now, and I understand how to navigate that.
Right.
And seeing it, I think it just makes for better decision making for future things.
Yeah.
So like I can be like, okay, yeah, I know the steps that led to that. I know where the mistakes were taken for that and the impact that it had. Let's not make those mistakes. And
something similar happened to us where we now know not to give away our IP.
Yeah.
Never. Yeah.
Mhm.
Don't ever. Yeah.
That's a bad look.
Yeah. I mean, it was tough. I mean, but I mean, most of my crews landed, on their feet. They're all exceptionally talented people. So, they're going to do good.
Did they shut down purely because of COVID, or was retail just kind of completely in the shitter, generally speaking, even before the pandemic?
Is there an alternate timeline where like you guys persist a little bit longer, but this is where it was ultimately going regardless?
It was not great just because, some of the steps and the investments that were made on the back end. And that's what a lot of people don't understand is at one point Need Supply had 120 some, or that Need Supply Totokayo NSTO had, 120 some employees. It was 65,000 square foot warehouse. It's massive.
It's huge.
You have leases on office space in Richmond, leases on office space in New York, leases on stores in Richmond, New York, Seattle, another one coming in Brooklyn.
Right.
All those moving parts and pieces,
sounds pricey.
Yeah, it's pricey.
Over leveraged.
Yeah, it's a lot of fuel. And then when you add a little spark to that, it goes up pretty quickly. And, in the environment, we had a great investment group. HCC was a great investment group. But they got to worry about their principal brand first, which is Herschel. Right. And, when we can't put together a model that makes sense to make money, and to break even, and the timeline for that was, 3 to 5 years out, that's too long.
Right.
So at the end of the day, it had to go.
Where am I going to buy very tasteful towels from Hawkins, New York and South 2 West 8 on sale now?
I mean, that's the problem. You should have been buying at full price.
Yeah, I was going to say, literally by virtue of the South 2 West 8 being on sale, that's proven Chris's.
Well, hey, the Hawkins cop full price, like, I don't know, $20.
Thank you for your service, Jimothy.
Yeah.
But okay. Yeah. How many years did you work in retail? Like 20? No, I guess like 30? No.
24.
Coming up on your 25-year anniversary in retail. So with someone from the mind of someone with hella experience, like especially now, post pandemic, hopefully one day maybe. Yep. What do you want to see more of in the retail landscape? Because like you're all about like learning from the past and seeking an opportunity.
Yeah. What's the game been missing, bro? Like,
the game plan.
The game plan. I think I still believe in brick and mortar retail, and I believe in the peer-to-peer experience that you get with brick and mortar. I love it. I think it's
you're a sucker for that human interaction.
Yeah, it's the human interaction, and it's
that
the
elbow
product
bump.
Yeah, it's the product to person interaction too.
Sure.
It's physically
hands-on
product and like feeling the quality and getting the story behind that quality.
Trying it on too. That doesn't hurt.
Yeah. Now, I think what it is knowing the level you want to be at and not trying to reach too far beyond that. And even if your ceiling is the moon, the steps to get there. Like if you want to be $100 million company, okay, yeah, we want to get there, but we need to make sure we have the right steps, and it's not just an all-out trajectory, rocket boosters go.
Blitz. Yeah.
And
is that because like treating the business like something it's not, like thinking it, not that a smaller business isn't like a startup in its own way, but is this like people or retailers being like, it's 2020, I need to be a million things instead of just being like a great
they should
store?
Just be a great, just be themselves and be great at being yourself.
Right.
Like I look at like brands like Tom Brown. He's unapologetically Tom Brown. Like everything that he does is Tom Brown. Like you look at it and you're never like, oh, that doesn't make sense. Why did Tom Brown do that? You're like, oh, that's fucking Tom Brown. Like,
sure.
And it doesn't align with everybody out there because he's not trying to grab every
exactly
dollar.
Yeah.
He's just trying to grab the dollars for the people who love what he does.
People that want suits with shorts. You know?
Whatever. Whatever rings your bell. Yeah. But like that's what I love about it is like it's that mentality of we're creating. It's the same thing with Ray.
That's
you know,
integrity. What do we call this? This is authenticity. This is
integrity. And with her, it's like the plan's in my head. There's no like written out, like, but the plan's in my head. So like,
Right.
I know what it's going to be, and whatever I say it is the right thing for Comme des Garçons. Like
Right.
the plan's in my head.
Chris, you beautiful, hot, sober motherfucker. Shut up for 1 second. Me and Lawrence got to get paid. Larry, hit him with that good ad read.
Last week, you may remember that we kind of fucked up the timing of our picks. With that said, I was vindicated as the jock of the podcast, as the expert gambler. I was vindicated. I was right. We're gonna try to nail it this week. Obviously, this episode is brought to you by mybookie.ag, the only podcast that matters places bets where we win fucking big. This week's Thursday night game, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Chicago Bears. I'm assuming Nick Foles, who just took
Big Dick Nick.
yes, with his big ass dick, just fucking cockslap Trubisky out of the fucking depth chart. He's starting. That would be a rematch of Super Bowl, whatever the fuck, when we're talking about fucking big slinging dick. You love to see Tom Brady lose. With that said, I
want Big Dick Nick to win because I don't want Brady to kiss his children afterwards.
Right.
French him down.
The spread right now, looking ahead, that I'm seeing online somewhere that's not my bookie, so I'm not going to shout them out, is that the Buccaneers are -3. I think that Brady, they look pretty fucking good. As much as I don't want him to win, I think that don't bet against Brady. That's what I'm saying, whether he's going to kiss his children or not. So I'm putting money on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at mybookie.ag. We have a promo code, Throwing Fits. James, how do we spell that?
THROWINGFITS. I am putting $50,000 on the coin toss.
Nice.
I'm going
dude.
tails.
Wow.
And
Great.
hopefully I win and I quit this podcast, or I lose and I have to pod for another 50 years of my life.
Yeah, you use the promo code to match any deposit up to a G, a stack, a rack.
It's
you
a
know the fucking
pandemic.
vibes. Promo code Throwing Fits, mybookie.ag. You already know that we are degenerates. We're gambling. We're putting it all on the line. I'm taking Brady. James is taking tails. We are professionals, so you absolutely can take our advice. MyBookie, a better way to bet, bitch.
Did you read the New York Times Magazine cover piece with Scott Sternberg and Entire World, and he kind of just going through how all these retailers had too much power, right? And they're dictating the terms where these brands just couldn't like maintain or keep up, and so you saw these great brands that you thought were doing very well,
They're not.
just fold. Do you think that now that retail has kind of taken a kick in the ass, unfortunately, does this kind of reshift the power dynamics between
I'll
brands?
just tell
and
you right
retail?
now, there's very few fashion brands that are profitable.
That's facts.
It's like the restaurant industry. It's hard to make a buck.
It's like the podcast industry.
Yeah, it's hard to make a buck. So, most of it's fucking smoke and mirrors anyway. It's all for show.
Pomp and circumstance, right?
Yeah,
fashion shows.
Yeah.
Fucking.
What draws me to brands and stuff is the authenticity. And Scott's piece was beautifully written, and I think it was, he struggled. He literally sat down. I think he said in the article, he sat down, he was writing an email. This is, this could be this
the last one
for us. Yeah. The last one. But, they persevered. They found a way through, but he's absolutely right. Band of Outsiders killed itself because it tried to be something it was not. It tried to keep up with the fashion calendar. It tried to keep up with to the retail calendar, which in the US is built off of markdowns.
Yeah.
So
see, it's me. I ruin Need Supply by copping Southwest
you're
State
the worst
on sale.
because
I'm the parasite.
You are a cog in a machine that is broken, James.
Or the problem is you just don't get paid enough to cop the Johns you need.
Ooh, hell.
One fair wage. Shout out King Bernie.
Yeah.
What's some shit in retail that you think is absolutely unnecessary? And let's talk about this pomp and circumstance and smoke and mirrors. What could go that would ultimately benefit everybody?
Trim some fat for us, dog.
Yeah, these brands should slow the fuck down and believe in product longer, make less product and believe in product longer. And I know that sounds really strange coming from a place that Stussy that delivers so much, but I will say that's part of the conversation of what we're doing. How do we deliver less and make it more impactful.
I actually think that Stussy, I mean, I think over time their collections are pretty massive. Like if you go in the store, you're just like, wow, there's a lot of shit here. But like it makes, and I guess this is, you're doing your job well, because it's like it makes sense when you see like stuff, you know, the weekly drops.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or not like drops in the hype sense,
Yeah.
but just like, hey, this is what we're putting out.
I mean, that's what they are, you know, deliveries, right? You know, and that's the big, all those deliveries, right, are merchandise in their own way. It's all, it's thoughtful, right? This is what we're talking about. It's like a level of thoughtfulness that, you know, this idea of even wanting to get better, like show me other brands and retailers out there that actually care about that, right? And that's why a brand like Stussy resonates with a certain type of person, because like it just feels so real to them for good reason.
I mean, I would say like, you know, Noah's doing a great job of being authentic. Like one of the most authentic brands out there to this day. Noah's crushing it. Super authentic with the message that, you know, he delivers directly to his consumers to, you know, just how they deliver their product. All that's super authentic. I mean, I think Teddy's doing a great job of being authentic. I mean, I'd like to see Teddy be a little bit more forward facing, you know, with the brand.
Maybe you should come on a podcast.
You're telling me, bro, I've asked him to come on this podcast only 8 million times. And it's just, you know, listen, God's plan, bro. James and I are just here. Yeah. We're going to spit bars regardless if it's Teddy, you know, a superstar, or it's fucking you know, canceling on us. But then, you know, finally deciding to grace ourselves with your presence. You know, you're here. We'll make it happen.
Well, I mean, you had a great backup. Gian's the man.
Yeah. Gian was.
No, that was
Gian even put 2 and 2 together because he listened to the pod before when we shouted you out. And he was like, oh, so I literally am being subbed in last minute for Chris.
We swapped.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Swapped. Yeah. No,
Gian swap seeds.
Gian's an old head. He's been a fan of this. He was a fan of Neat Supply for a long time.
Virginia boy.
Was on Flow, he was on Flow Team for a long time.
Hometown hero, bro. Well, I don't know about Richmond, but he's from, you know, Virginia's for lovers. Lovers of John.
From Nova. Yeah.
Lovers of
Nova.
people.
MVP of the DMV.
Lovers of
that's right.
How's the pandemic fucked up Stussy, if at all, or is Stussy too big to fail at this point?
No, I mean it's definitely affected everybody. I mean, stores were closed for a long time. Stores are, you know, opening back up. So it's definitely fucked with everybody. It's fucked with delivery schedules, everything. So, you know, there's very few places that are untouched from the pandemic, really, especially in retail, unaffected from the pandemic in the retail.
Word.
I would say we've navigated really well, and you know, everybody's trying to drive that marker forward. That's the big thing, is like PMA, you know, where you can have PMA, you know, and keep doing the best work you can do.
That PMA, that good WAP. Well, yo, what are your favorite stores in the world?
Yeah.
Let's just list them out, because at the end of the day, we're a recommendation podcast. We dump the links on Reddit, or shout out that one guy that does it. Where should people shop?
Andreas Mercutis. That store's sick.
Where's that?
It's in Munich, I think. Munich. Vu Shop, sick.
In Berlin?
In Berlin, yep.
That's a spot.
Great home.
Simon and Hannes and Jesse crushing it with Trivian.
The Malmomies.
Dude,
yeah,
those are our guys now. They're getting a lot of fucking love. So, you know.
Those are the homies. Those guys are OG too. They've been doing it for a long time.
Trebian has consistently been, and that's like, people are always like, yo, what brand should? It's like, yo, go to the actual experts, go to the stores and go through the brand list of like good, tasteful shops like Trebian. And that's how you learn about new brands.
They're a great example of, they were a store that was like, yo, we have such great taste, and we believe in what the vision that we have. That's like, let's have an amazing fucking in-house line. Let's launch fucking 6 sunglasses. Like, they were ambitious.
Oh, Sun Buddies are sick. Yeah.
So that's like, and that's the other side, where it's like, you know, it's not that retailers shouldn't be ambitious, but it's like you're saying, Chris, you got to be honest, you got to be true to yourself. And look at that. Those dudes are the fucking best. They're the kings. Yeah.
And honestly, like they've gone through their transitions and changes. Like they had Comb, then they dropped all of Comb, and then they brought it back in. Like they figured themselves out, which
is a process.
Is cool. Yeah. And, you know, they brought Jesse Hudnut on board, and Jesse's done a great job with Simon, and like, Jesse's OG, like he's so good.
Yeah.
And then Neighbor in Vancouver. I don't know Shop Neighbor, if you've heard of it. But
heard of it, haven't been in.
Yeah.
So Sager, it's like his shop, and he's really expanded, and he's like so true to like this minimalistic ethos of below designer price point, mid to high contemporary, but it's like really well thought out, and everything, like, he cares about the garments that are coming in and how they're being made. So he does a really good job. That to me, it's the authenticity of it.
Curiously, you didn't mention any stores in the U.S.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think? Why do you think
design.
the U.S. cannot? Why can't the U.S. do retail right?
Because I think in the US, they're chasing the dollar too hard. And I think they've gotten away from the customer service aspect of it and that real connection. I'd like to see a store, I'd love to see, I think IF is an awesome shop in Soho, but I don't think it gets the love it deserves because
Gets no love, bro.
Because the thing is like people aren't connecting with it,
Right.
What's the status? Isn't IF done?
It might be.
I don't want to trip and say the wrong thing, but yeah, I feel like because that wasn't the last place you could try on Yoji, right?
Yeah.
Like, someone I don't know.
And
I thought I read something.
and like DSM's cool, but I just.
I mean, that's not really a U.S. shop, though, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's not for me though. Like it's
Sure. Why? Because there's it's too much. It's like
it's too much. It's over the top.
You want some curation.
You don't want Craig Green over your Gosha?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like I see where you're going. It's just like it's too much. They have Gucci, they have Supreme, they have a Nike shop and shop. Like it's almost like
the mall.
Yeah, but it's like a mall for fire drop releases, which is fine, which is cool.
Which makes money because they are not allergic to money, unlike some.
Yeah,
other
they're not allergic to it. But to me, it's like since my personal flavor doesn't chase those things.
Sure.
Like, yeah, I like heat release sneakers or whatever, but I'm not chasing them hard. So like that doesn't pique my interest.
Sure.
But when I look at something like Trabian that also carries that same stuff, like I can see through their communication that they actually care about some of the other product that they're carrying and how they style it and how they represent it and things like that. So,
people forget Trade Bien. That's a tier 0 Nike account. They get fucking.
They got fire. They got it all.
I remember trying to buy Yeezy 2s from Trade Bien, being like, "Oh, for sure, dude, I'm gonna hit on this raffle." What the fuck? Be like, "Yo, most people don't know about Trade Bien." Like, I think I'm like,
not all fucking Scandinavia shops at Trade Bien and the rest of the world,
the entirety of Europe.
Yeah, I did not hit.
Yeah.
Needless to say.
What about Chris? Because like I think something that is like a commonality in a lot of what you're saying is like there's a disconnect between like the retailer and the brands, right? And like it doesn't always match up. But what do you make of this? I mean, it's not a current phenomenon at all whatsoever, but I've noticed that a lot of brands are opening shops and they're doing such a fire job of the physical retail where you go in and you feel like it's that experience, but it's like also like you have to buy it. And like the retail experience is such a extension of the brand and it's seamless, right? Because it's the same people doing it. Like, have you been or noticed any brands that are doing retail right?
Like bigger brands?
Not like 2 examples.
I mean, I would say Bodie's doing retail right. Like they open a retail shop that you come into their environment, which is cool. Yep. I mean, I think 18 East, their little spot is cool. Yeah. Like what they're doing is like true to their brand. It's exactly what you go in there for.
Yep.
Is for that. So, but the bigger box brands, like most of it's like high shine and it's catering to a tourist, it's catering towards.
I mean, I'm not even talking about like Fifth Avenue fucking, Gucci's and shit. I'm talking about like 18 East. I'm talking about Bodie. By the way, if you ever mention Bodie in front of Chuck, he'll just talk about how good it smells in there. And just up the street from 18 East, 316 just opened their shop.
I mean, Andrew's done such a good job over the years. I mean,
have you been in the new shop?
I haven't been, but talk about a brand that's like, the relevancy wanes and comes back, being, from that denim background, like that's a hard slog, it's a hard slog. So,
but that's another shop that is like, again, just a seamless environment of the brand itself. So you go in there and it's like, I need to, like, I love it here. And I want to take a part of this home with me. I want to
take a part of it. Yep.
I want to take a part of the vibe home with me. It's kind of like the Japanese, or feels
it would
very
almost
Japanese
be like,
almost.
Like if you go out to West Coast, it'd be like RTH. Like you want to take a part of that. Like if you're into that, yeah.
What do you, now that you're working with a West Coast brand, how do you find the differences between East Coast in all things, like East Coast mentality, philosophy, style versus the West Coast?
Yeah, I definitely see it like with the interactions with that crew. Like it's either really West Coast, like beach, or Pacific Northwest, the vibes that they're coming with. Like very rarely do they like touch that East Coast urban, like a bit, I would say a bit harder.
Hey, I'm walking in.
Yeah. There's not a lot of that in it, but then there's pieces that you will find, like, we'll put out like a coach jacket or like a varsity jacket, and you're like, oh, this is kind of tough. This is kind of like, this definitely comes from an East Coast point of view.
Yeah.
But like a lot of it definitely feels a little bit more surfy and softer. Being
based in New York for so long, and yeah, you're like a Virginia boy, but like, do you ever get frustrated having to do business with these fucking vibey West Coasters?
No, they're sick, man. They're chill. They're like, and then half the team's like Canadian, so it's like even more low key. They're like so polite and nice.
You're not like, yo, bro, stop taking 6 hours to return my email.
Yeah.
No, they're so good. They're so good. Like I'm surprised as a brand that has, this stipulation behind it that like it's cool and whatever. Like the vibe is not that. Everybody's like really like.
Well, it's not pretentious, right?
No,
it's
not
like,
at all.
What's appealing to me about Stussy versus like Supreme is the this is East versus West. This is like a more chill, laid back. Like there's less edge, but like sometimes that's nice, right? I think that's the vibe overall.
Doesn't mean the product's worse at all.
No,
Doesn't
exactly.
mean the product's any less at all.
No, it's just the perception. All it does is affect the consumer's perception of what they're buying into.
Well, it's just different mentalities, right? It's like, yo, you don't need to respond to an email 10 seconds after you get it. Like the world's not going to wait. The shit's still going to get done.
Yeah, it can wait. Yeah.
Yo, I got some intel. You mentioned the boots up top. I got some intel that our boy Dickie Brooks at Union was rocking them down La Brea, and a bunch of Stussy folks were like, yo, those are hard.
Yeah. Boots are sick.
You like them?
Yeah, they're sick.
Thanks, man.
What's up? I'm 42.
All right. You can have my pair. I'll trade you for the Pradas. That's a big cosign. The Chris Green fucking stamp of approval.
What just happened? I just glitched out for 30 seconds. Did he compliment the only boots that matter?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sick. Thank you, Chris.
The only booties that matter. No, they're sick. I like the reference, the rips from them. And I bet you working with Corrado was cool. Coming full circle like that.
Yeah.
It was full circle.
I wish we had your endorsement while the pre-order window was still open. So while we appreciate your cosign, it's absolutely fucking worthless. So,
whatever. Yeah. You have Corrado's number. Hit him up and just be like, yo, add a 42 to the mix, bitch.
Yeah. No, we wanted to work with a project with DMA. It's just we couldn't get it off the ground.
Well, some of us know how to execute, I guess.
DMA.
No. Totokayo DMA.
Got it.
Some of us just know how to execute, and that's why we're still in business, I guess.
Coffees for closers.
I know we had a sick project come in the works with North Face too, and that never happened either.
Damn.
All right.
Yo, why don't you become our collab broker? And you have your Rolodex must be crazy deep.
Yeah, what's your cut?
I'm a gun for hire. I'll give you my hourly rate.
Yeah, let's talk off mic, dude. We could throw you in the mix, dude.
Well, we're gonna get into money in about we're gonna get into the second segment in about like 19 questions. But like, what is your hourly rate?
My hourly rate
$69.
Well, no, it depends on the project.
Sure.
I'm pretty standard. I mean, it'd be pretty standard, like $250, $300 an hour.
Damn.
All right. Respect.
Round up every time, like a lawyer.
Yeah.
I mean, just depends on how many hours a project's going to be, but yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. 1 minute is an hour.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of minutes that felt like hours, you were the only guest on the Throwing Fits live production bonanza, which is currently on pause.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. We kicked it off at that trade show.
Project.
Ooh,
at the Jam Center. Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out Brian Trunzo.
Shout out Brian Trunzo. And you were the only guest in the world to be on the only live podcast that matters. How was that for you? And any tips on how we can improve?
No, that was sick. I thought it was fine.
It absolutely was sick.
Yeah. I thought it was good.
It probably
had some good questions at the end too.
Yeah, there's probably too many references to cocaine for projects liking, but I think overall that was the most entertaining programming that has ever gone down at Project Trade Show. And for that, Brian Trunzor, a good friend, you're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah,
I think it was hilarious because a lot of people attended this very industry affair, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people were like, oh shit, the GMM of Totokayo and Need Supply, what the fuck? This is like a big guy. And then they didn't realize that it's like in the Throwing Fits format. And they're just like, what is this?
Which they probably weren't familiar with.
No,
definitely not.
Just general tomfoolery.
But then it was like a bunch of questions and they were all weirdly for you. And I was like, wait, this guy?
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, so how do I become a buyer? And you're like, you're very gracious. You're very nice.
Right. You gave them the Q&A was the panel that they wanted. That was the chat that they wanted. Was like,
well,
the
I'm
actual
surprised
shit
Gian didn't come up there because he does every panel there ever is. So.
He's never met a panel he wouldn't host.
Facts. Jesus.
But okay. So for people, we do have a lot of people listening, and the one woman that are interested in getting into menswear, and it's such like a weird inflection point in the whole industry. Like, what is the first piece of foundational advice you would give to someone who wants to crack into this world?
Besides, don't.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I would tell everybody go for it. Fuck it. Like, chase your dream, whatever it is. I would say the first thing is listen. Like when you're on the come up, listen, listen to learn as much as you can.
That's why listen to this pod. Listen to this podcast.
Listen to this pod. And then don't be scared to work hard. Don't be scared. And it's not going to happen in one day. It's not going to happen overnight. You're going to have to go through some shit. You're going to have to put in long hours. You're going to have to do dirty work, but you do it with some pride. And I would say if you listen, that becomes you're aware of yourself and you're aware of your surroundings.
Yeah.
And just be willing to like bust your ass for it. I've interviewed so many people and talking to a lot of people in the industry. Oh, how do I become this? How do I do that? Blah, blah, blah. How do you get to do this job? And I'm like, if they don't have that job where you want it, you create that job. You do that job that you want. Like you do the things that are going to get you to what that job is. So like, if you want to become a buyer and there's someone in that position above you and you work with them, then you find a way to work with that person to help them carry their load and learn what they do. And then, do the research, do the brand research. Just be on point, it's not going to be handed to you.
Right.
Sure. Well, here's a loaded question for you, Chris. How available are you when if people want to reach out to you? Is that something, or is that also like, that's my hourly rate? Like, can kids DM you? and ask you shit?
Fair warning. Chris, sure. Chris does not immediately return DMs. He takes he's too busy building decks.
People are too used to like men of the people, like myself and James, who just fucking answer everything. Chris might be slightly less available.
I'll give you a good example. Like I'm helping this crew work on a project. And I would say I've taken 3 or 4 calls free, and I would say I've probably given 8 to 10 hours free.
Nice.
Because I believe in the project that they're working on. And there might be something in it for me at the end, but like they're trying to build something which is interesting. So like I'm interested with it. So I'm going to rap with them and I'm going to help them poke holes in that project before they even get to the point where they're ready to invest in it.
What are they going to do? Put you on Flow Team?
Yeah. You try to get some angling for some free gear.
No, it's an interesting concept that they're doing. It's like, it's some service for Fortune 500s that they're already a consultant for Fortune 500 companies and mainly with CEO and executive levels, but it's they're trying to get some product in front of them, et cetera, and stuff like that. So
it's like how to make these CEOs richer.
No, it's actually how to make the CEOs connect with their people in their daily lives rather than just being their boss.
Right. Or like going on Undercover Boss.
Yeah. Basically.
pretty much. Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah.
Very cool.
No, Chris, you
fucking DM me if I don't answer
this man up,
you, then
yeah,
whatever.
That's what I'm saying.
There's no way he gets them. Your DMs must be flooded with like
fucking shoot your shot.
You're married, but like you're hot. So like, I'm sure your DMs are just brazy right
Zero.
now. But let me ask you this. Let's move on to the second topic of this podcast, which is money.
Ka-ching.
Chris.
Ka-ching. Yeah.
We're all about radical transparency. We're all about not making the CEOs richer. We're about connecting them with their homies that work for them. And you are a wealth of knowledge. Like we said, you've done everything. You are incarnate. You're a manifestation of the hustle and grind mentality and lifestyle.
He's seen it all. He's copped it all.
But I got to know, the people got to know, if we're going to hustle and grind for 25 years making decks, building houses, what's in it for us? How much money do you make?
Yeah.
I mean, I make nothing now other than,
Right. According to Uncle Sam.
Yeah. According to Uncle Sam, I make nothing. No, I got a pretty good contract with Stussy. So I've got a full-time, just like flat rate contract with them, not an hourly thing.
Do they know that you spent?
That's a big old retainer.
Do they know that you spent the entire workday building a deck?
Well, no, because I did it in the morning, and that they don't start till noon my time. They're 3 hours behind.
But you started this podcast at 3 p.m. their time.
Yeah. Well, I cleared my calendar for you.
What are you,
Come
fucking
on.
snitch, dude?
No,
Shut the fuck
what's
up.
up?
Yo, it's Saturday. It's Saturday.
Yeah,
It's Saturday. What do you?
You know who's going? Who's going top down? Fucking James is going top
Well,
down.
listen, Chris, just now that I jumped in right there and I fucking saved your ass from James trying to fucking get you to dry snitch on yourself, which is, what the fuck are you doing, bro?
Yeah.
Bro, it's Saturday. I don't know what you guys are talking about. We pod on the weekends.
Do me the solid. And Gian started doing this last week, which I find is interesting. And I guess you don't have to if you don't want to, but I would love to know how much were you making when you were at like Toto at the end there, what the job title was and what the salary was. Gian was an editorial director at Heist and Biden. He said he was making $90,000 a year, which was...
That's
criminal
That is
underpayment.
criminal. That was criminal. And I can understand him like trying to fucking jump ship and not being happy because the hours he put in. But I also say the position did put him in, his insane flow that he got. And he was flipping that shit for.
Oh, he said that he was. Yeah, I mean,
but that's not. But that's not part of like HR is not taking that into consideration when they're like fucking.
It doesn't mean the motherfuckers appreciate.
HR was fucking
that you're doing
hard. Yeah. No,
the Germans, bro. They just bend you over and fuck you in the ass, the asshole.
So if you'd like to tell us what the fucking cold hard cash was for the former general merchandise manager at Toto and Need Supply, go off, King.
I was making a pretty good salary.
Okay, that's a big title.
Yeah, it is a big title. I was making 6 figgies.
Okay.
How many Margiela tabby boots were you making?
Yeah. What's the conversion? How many tabby boots were you making?
How many tabby toes were you making?
How many tabby toes?
How good are you with math?
Four toes per pair.
Yeah, I don't know. I was making some pretty good. I was making some good flow, and I had a good.
You felt compensated, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I was definitely very well compensated for what I did and the amount of hours I put in and the years I put in. I will say this though.
It's fair.
When I left Need Supply the first time, I left over a dispute over a $2,000 raise. Because I knew my worth was more than what they were paying me.
And
I
you went straight to Aaron.
Sounds like a couple grams, I know, but that's fighting the good fight, man. Fucking don't lay down if that's what you believe in. Fuck.
And I bounced before I had a job. I quit before I had a job. Got the job in New York. And then when they came back, when they rehired me,
begging, tail between their legs.
I wrote the number down and I said, "This is non-negotiable. This is what it is." And it was 4 times what I had left Richmond for.
Wow. Yeah. So
did you get to stay in New York?
I was in New York. Yeah.
Right. But I mean, when you went back to Need Supply.
Yeah. I was before we had taken over Toto Kayo, I was the only Need New York employee.
How long was that? Like how long until Toto then came in under the umbrella?
2.5 years.
So you were flying solo in NYC for 2.5 years? That's pretty fucking sick.
It was sick. Yeah, no office, working from home.
That's my fucking dream, dude.
No supervision, no oversight, no supervision.
Yeah.
Mom and dad are away, and I'm having ice cream for dinner, bitch.
Yeah,
building decks every Tuesday.
Building decks. Yeah.
We very conveniently glazed over the fact that you work for Sith Lord Bezos for a minute there.
I did.
How trash? Because Amazon is infamously just horrible to work for, and I don't know if East Dane was in.
It's got Amazon ethos. Yeah, I mean, we shared offices with Amazon Fashion. Yeah.
How bad was working in tech? Because I think it's the worst. Fucking tech and music are like the two worst.
I'm not a fan, personally speaking.
Yeah, I'll say it was an interesting spot. Like the men's team was really small, and we had like, I think we had like 400 brands, and it was only 3 of us that worked for the men's team. So it was like,
Jesus.
Wait, that's it?
Yeah.
Bro, was Jonathan Evans on that team?
Oh, J-Dog Evans was there for sure.
Wow. Damn.
Yeah.
That's a fucking 3 musketeers for the whole men's business. That's
he came and went in my time there.
Yeah.
I think he put a pretty good shift in.
So were you guys just overworked?
Yeah. What was the
paid? Like,
that must have been thankless as fuck.
Overworked, but they compensated. They compensate well, and they give you stock, Amazon stock. I still have Amazon stock.
Hell yeah.
I left before the second half came through, which I probably should have waited, but
at least you left with something, bro. God,
you don't want to rest. You don't want to rest invest. I guess there's no rest.
I would say most of that team that's there, like
you try to invest at Amazon, you die like the rest, dude.
Yeah, they've got people that have been there forever just because of stock. Yeah,
that's how they get you.
Damn.
Yeah, but that place is pretty vicious. They're pretty vicious there. Yeah. Yeah.
What was like? Was it just like you talk about like hustling and grinding, but it sounds like this was just another level, just unhealthy.
Yeah, pretty unhealthy. I mean, the hours at Club Monaco were pretty unhealthy. I was working from 8 a.m. till 9 or 10 at night every day.
Jesus
God
Christ!
Damn. When did you fucking build decks?
Yeah,
weekend
on the weekend.
With my free time.
Yeah, with my free time. Yeah. I will say that was the first time I didn't have email on my phone though. Club Monaco didn't make you work on the weekend.
That's a good Canadian shit.
Damn.
Yeah.
That rocks.
Would Jeff Bezos just hit you up like, yo, fam, like, what do you think?
That was 24 hours a day. Yeah.
No, but like the man himself was like,
you ever meet Bezos?
You like his hoodie?
No, we never met Bezos. There was like 1 or 2 characters that came in that were like right below Bezos.
What's
like
his team called?
The suits from Amazon that were like,
yeah, it was insane. Those guys were like,
sell more Johns.
What's his close circle called? Like it has a dumb name.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's called like
I remember
Six or some shit.
I remember riding in a car with one of them, and they were looking at the annual revenue of ShopUp and just laughed and said, "Our plus size undergarment business on Amazon is twice as big as this."
Then all of ShopUp.
Just totally dismissed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did Bezos's transformation from swagless virgin nerd to fucking evil jacked villain happen arguably
During
started dressing?
period,
he started dressing in like Laura Piana. Like that happened while you were there. I mean, that's the Chris Green influence.
He shopped at Mario's, man. In Seattle. Mario's is a sick Mario's Mitchell's is like a really cool, for people who don't know. It's like
a menswear shop.
Menswear, women's wear shop that like they carry Miu Miu, Prada.
Oh, really?
They carry like Laura Piana or Ludi. They carry it all, like super high end, super nice. But it's like a clienteling business, and like that business is probably I want to estimate are like $125 million a year. Nobody knows about.
Wow.
I mean, he just walks in there and says,
just off Bezos' vest budget, bro.
Yeah, that's Bezos' vest budget. Right
Two everything and put it on the drone.
Yeah,
basically. Yeah.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Bezos is, Bezos is a little trillionaire. I don't think anyone, Lawrence and I don't think we want to be rich, but we want to be trillionaires. Like that's just too much responsibility.
Disgusting.
Like how much money would you like to make? Like what is like the ideal income level that you would like to hope to one day achieve if you haven't already? Like what would make you just very content and happy?
Yeah. Like subtle flex money almost like.
Yeah, to live the life that you want to live.
Yeah, I mean, I'm comfortable.
What's a subtle flex that you'd like to pull off that you haven't yet? Do you have something in mind?
Yeah, just to not to be not strapped to work every day. That's the thing. Like
you want the freedom. You want the
freedom. And I would imagine that's like I don't know.
That now? Do you feel like you have that freedom now?
$2 to $3 million a year.
Oh, okay.
You should become a fashion podcaster. Me and Lawrence only work very, very intensely, but work only like 2 or 3 days a week. And if we had the skills, we'd be building decks and shit too. But instead, we just nap and.
What was the revenue last month?
Last month was our biggest month ever.
What was it?
Because of the.
Oh, he doesn't want to say.
Because of
you don't want to say. James doesn't want to say. I would flex what our total. I would say what our gross revenue is, but James won't want to say it. So
yeah, it's look, there's no comps yet.
First of all, motherfucker, you said you made 6 figures, so don't. This isn't your fucking podcast, Chris. fucking relax.
Look, Chris, here's why we do this, right? We do it for transparency so people can know their actual worth, because if there's an editorial director out there that's getting paid $90K and we all agree that that's
and
bullshit.
you're listening to this podcast, you should be fired.
It's not even just editorial director. It's editorial, like where he was the editorial director.
Yeah, and
like,
what he did and
what he
all
did.
the hours and like that.
and
That's
his visibility and all
Yes.
the hours, everything he did, like that's way grossly underpaid.
right.
Like,
So like if
he should have
there's
been making like 135 to 155.
Well, that's what he said. He left to get fucking 2x that because, he wasn't, we don't need to keep sucking Gene's dick. That's what I'm saying.
my point is, once there are other fashion podcasts out there, and as far as I can tell, there are none. We're the only one. When you want to know a comp so you can know your worth, then we will be transparent with our salaries. But also, you can go to the Patreon. You can look at our fucking. Don't go today.
No, do not go today. Today's purge day. It's bad. It's looking bad.
But yeah, go maybe like around the 15th, and you'll be able to see like what we make off the Patreon. And then it's a shorts here, it's boots here, it's other fire collaborations happening soon here. It's the North Face collab you're gonna broker for us.
Right.
So
It's Stussy, TF. It's the whole thing. Yeah.
yeah, it's the whole thing. Yeah,
we do
Oh,
collabs
yeah,
for the money.
A lot of moving
Van.
parts, Chris. A lot of moving parts, bro.
a lot of moving parts.
What do you like to spend your money on though, besides
Yeah.
Drees, CDG with the little hearts,
Rolex Daytonas, tree
No
houses.
fucking
Yeah.
kids? You have 2 kids
Yeah.
now.
I have 2 kids. Yep.
Our
You
condolences.
spend any money on them, or are they kind of just like?
I mean,
They drip.
Is that
they
the
drip.
ultimate? Is that the ultimate flow team? Just being a kid because you just get everything given to you.
They get everything
That's
free.
true.
Yeah. No, he's got some Lagucci. He's definitely got some workshop stuff.
Yo,
Really?
one of one, right?
Yeah. He's got lots of one-of-ones. Yeah.
Are you
Little
pissed?
baby workshop.
Yeah.
Are you
He
pissed that
does.
he's going to grow out of it and still like force him into it? You're like, no, you wear this fucking
Yeah.
workshop, bitch.
Yeah. It'll get handed down to the next one until she grows out of it. And then I don't know. I'll probably frame it. I don't know what I'll do.
Oh,
with
put it in the
gotta keep
rafters.
having-
Put the jersey in the rafters.
No, you got to keep having babies so that you just
Yeah.
keep wearing
No,
the
Work
work.
no,
like
I
they're
know-
Irish
hey.
or some shit.
it. I know kids are mids. I got
Right.
2 of them. So
You
we're
can
good.
confirm. So you can confirm
you
the
agree.
mids. Yeah.
I would say it's a challenge.
All right.
Out of 10, from 1 to 10, where do you rate kids?
What's mids and what's not mids on
As
the
mids,
scale?
we put them at a 5.
Yeah.
Oh, I
It's tough,
see.
man.
You're being very literal.
Yeah, it's tough. I would say
All right, you can either use a number to rate your children or tell us how much money you made. The choice is yours. Red pill, blue pill.
And just know that your wife is listening.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I know she'll never listen to this shit.
Yeah,
Jessica's
thank
gonna
God.
listen to this. I'll clip out this part and send it to her.
I would say kids are 7 right now.
Right. A soft 7. You love to see it.
That's,
Pitchfork
that's
rating.
passing. That's
Yeah.
passing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're 7.
Above
it depends on
average.
if they're sleeping, I'm like at an 8.5.
Oh,
If
love
they're
it.
not sleeping, I'm at a 4.
They're best new music if they're sleeping on Pitchfork, but if they're up, then it's getting trashed.
Well,
Yeah,
let's
it's okay.
Childish
meats and cheeks and insert right here because we're talking about your kids. Congrats on having sex twice.
Confirmed twice. Congrats. Very cool.
Which one's your favorite?
I don't even know if they're mine, so
Oh,
who says to say I had sex twice?
That's if
True.
you haven't, it might be.
How many times
the
have you had
math might
sex?
not work out. The signs.
How many times have you had sex in your life?
Yeah, let's put a number on that.
4 times.
4 times.
Between 0 and 10.
Round of
Yeah.
applause.
So you're shooting 50%. Congrats.
Nice.
Which one's your favorite kid?
Yeah.
Oof. Man, neither.
Right answer.
You can't have a favorite kid. You just can't do it because I have a boy and a girl. So like they're both like if you have 2 boys and you could pick one,
Sure.
How old's the
I don't
boy?
want to say 3.5.
Is he? But is he like a mama's boy, or your daughter is like daddy's little girl? Is there a situation like that where
I mean,
there's allegiances to
she's-
either parental unit?
Yeah, she's 6 months old, so she hasn't built her allegiance yet.
Got it. She's up
Yeah.
for grabs.
Yeah.
What about
Yeah.
the?
But
What
he's
about the
definitely
son?
a mama's boy. He's a
Okay.
mama's boy.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, you
I
better
mean-
start shoring up your own luck. This is, dude. Having a family, that is just its own war, dude. You need to bring someone onto your side.
I know. I'll get somebody on my team.
You should
I'll get
spoil the
there.
shit out of her, turn her into a little brat, dude, so you can have your own monster.
Yeah, I know, right? Fuck.
But
That's my advice.
Is the
As someone
older
with no
son?
kids.
Is the older son like developing any personality, or is he just kind of still like a fucking barfing little blob?
No, dude, he's got a personality. He's funny. He's kind of an asshole.
Does he?
Right.
Does he fuck with
Sounds
Johns
like
yet?
somebody I know.
Oh, he fucks with Johns. Yeah,
Yeah.
he fucks with Johns. He
What's his style?
Does he dress himself at all?
oh yeah. He picks his stuff.
And what do you think of that? Are you like, or sometimes you're like, yo, this is a
Spit his
brick.
trash.
Change.
Spit his
Oh,
trash.
no, I'm
Literal
I'm
fan.
down for it. He spits fire all day long.
All
Yeah.
right. Damn, he
Yeah.
must take after his mom.
What is he fucking with?
I mean, he definitely fucks with the Our Legacy stuff, and when he wears it, he always tells me he's got the same one as me.
Oh, nice.
Oh, cute.
Which is kind of cool. He fucks with some vintage Mickey stuff.
Some
which is kinda
vintage.
cool.
I mean, a little
What's vintage
child,
for, what's vintage for 3 years old?
a little childish.
No,
but-
like buy it off of Etsy, man. Vintage kids
Okay.
clothes. Upcycle.
Gotta
what-
cop him the. You got to cop him the Kith Disney collab.
No.
At what age will you let your son listen to Throwing Fits?
I'd let him listen to it. He listened to it in the car with me the other day.
Hell yeah! What did he think? What was his immediate impression and review?
He just started crying.
Okay, that sounds about right. All right,
It's
good
like,
to know.
Daddy, what's juicy coochie?
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. Let's wrap up Meats and Cheeks and get back to money. That's an unprecedented
Wow,
segment
what
within
the
a segment.
hell?
What do you like to
Paradigm
spend?
is being shifted.
What do you like to spend your money on?
What do I like to spend my money on? I mean,
Tools and shit.
no, I got a bunch of tools already.
Hell yeah.
I'm a sucker for ceramics, furniture. I'll spend my money on furniture. I do cop some Johns once in a while. But like now, now that I don't work, now that Meat Supply is closed, like I used to get a budget every season that I get to spend at the stores.
Oh shit!
so
Wardrobe
that-
allowance.
Yeah, that's gone. Oh, my allowance was great. Oof, what a
Oh
nice
really?
perk.
Was that
Yeah.
because James and I had one for Fashion Bros when we were at Complex.
Oh, it was
But
sick.
It was
but it was so
$500.
minuscule. It was so
$500 a quarter.
trash. Yeah, it was
No,
trash.
mine was very healthy, and I got half off.
Can you tell us what the budget allowance
Oh,
was?
so can you tell us
give
the
dollar
wardrobe
on that?
allowance? Come on, you got to give us something.
Yeah. So I got it twice a year. And I got 12 grand every half year.
Wow, you love to fucking see it, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
And you have to spend it, right? Because you don't
Yeah.
get that money.
Use it or
Well,
lose
no,
it.
yeah, and the hard part is like it gets taxed too. So like
Oh,
it gets
yeah.
taxed at a higher rate. So like your actual take home paycheck when that comes through is like gets annihilated.
Okay, that sucks.
Were you?
Yeah, but like I mean, with half off and you get that
Yeah.
kind of allowance, like oof.
Were you,
You can buy a lot of Johns with that money.
were you
yeah.
disciplined and kind of spread it out over time, or like bought for for
Yeah.
shit throughout the year, or did you just blow it all on South to
mean-
West Aid at full price?
Or like
Yeah.
one John. I would love to know like what was the most ever dropped on a single John.
answer
I
my
guess
question
they-
first.
Yeah.
I was pretty good about throughout the season.
Okay. A
Um,
discipline.
I mean,
cop.
there's definitely a flurry at the beginning.
Right, of course. You got to feel it out. You got to see if you
Yeah.
you got to see what it's like. You got to get used to
but
it.
I'm not. Lawrence is a 2-pump chump, but I would carry it out a little bit longer.
Yeah,
you
man.
know?
It's not a race.
What was
It's not
the
a sprint.
what
It's a marathon.
was the biggest like landmark piece though when you had
I think
that?
the most expensive piece that I copped when I worked there from us was I got I think it was like $3.5K. It was a Jill Sander piece.
From Need.
Yeah, from Totokayo.
Okay. Damn.
Yeah.
What
Is
was
that
it?
Totokayo.
Jill Sander by the Myers.
Yeah. Oh, the Myers Jill Sander is so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the quality is just up there. I mean, I know the fits are a little hard for some people because it is like
Right.
the stuff's gigantic.
Sure.
But the
But if you're
fabrics
hot
that
and
they're
in shape
using-
like you, it's all
Yeah,
gravy.
it's good.
What's
Yeah, it's good.
what's the deal with Overall Mastercloth? What's the status? Are they still doing OAMC?
He still does OAMC, and it doesn't stand for Overall Mastercloth now. Every season, OAMC stands for something different.
What?
Which
Come on, bro.
I
That's,
think
that's
it's because,
fucking that's pretty
Well, I
galaxy
think-
brain, man.
yeah, I think he came up with that name, and it was corny in the beginning, and now he's trying to
Yeah.
reposition it.
So what
But
is it now? Like
Well, yeah, what was it most recently?
I don't fucking know.
overalls and MC Hammer? Like
Yeah, yeah. OAMC, I mean,
that's it.
the shit, it's very, I mean, there's pieces in there that you'll see in Jill Sander that you'll also see in OAMC. But the stuff is pretty nice. The fact that he kind of got away from like the graphic play of it and went into like the finer materials, its stuff is really nice. It's still
very expensive.
too expensive for what it is.
Yeah, that's a fact.
They are couple along with you and Jess, they are couples goals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
IMO.
Yeah.
They're like
yeah.
the Parisian version of you guys.
No,
they have
that's
they-
Lemaire and his wife though. That's the real Parisian version.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because aren't the Myers American? Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, Canadian.
They're Canadian.
Yeah. And then the Lemaire joint. She's I think her parents live in New York, upstate New York.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn, good for her. What a catch, dude. Well,
Yeah.
actually, probably that's a catch. That's a catch for Christoph because once she came on board, it actually kind of blossomed. So,
she solidified the brand. Yeah.
Boom. There you go. Behind every great man is an even greater woman. You heard it here first.
Yeah. The talent for sure.
Chris, let's stop respecting women for a second and get back to money. What is your monthly ornamental ceramics budget? It's got to be five figures.
No, it's not. It's not.
They sneak up on you. Those little cups and ashtrays. They sneak up.
Little sake cups, little tea dishes.
Yeah, I mean, you could chase on Etsy. There's some good spots. Like I've ordered some shit from some weird ass lady in Poland, and I got a bunch of good stuff from her. And I think the last time I copped from her, I probably spent like $400.
But you probably got a lot, right?
That's light work.
Because she's just like, she hasn't like popped off on IG or whatever. She's just some, humble
she's a
woman.
No name.
Just arthritic as fuck, making you, your 800th ashtray.
Yeah. Yeah, but if you want to drop like something, I mean, if you get a Simone Bodman Turner piece, like,
right.
I mean, you're dropping a grand right there.
Yeah, I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about, so that's how I know it's expensive.
Yeah, it's good.
Have you ever linked up with Terry Ellis from Beams and Fenica? Yeah. He is a huge ceramics fucking head.
So Terry is like the OG. Like for every guy listening to this podcast now, you should look up Terry Ellis and look at his career and what he created with Beams Fenica. Like, that dude is the OG of the OGs, the nicest guy in the industry, super knowledgeable. Like that's who, like when I was coming up, I would look to Terry and be like, he was like almost an icon to me. It was like, oh my God. And I remember the first time I met Terry and I was just taken back at like how nice Terry was, how easily he would share his information. And there was nothing pretentious about him, and it was just sincere and sweet. That dude is like one of the best.
I mean, his entire Instagram is just like documenting the potters and the ceramics men of like Okinawa and different parts. Is it just Okinawa or is it all over Japan?
I want to say it's all over, but it's everyone who's just. I believe there's stone fire. They're all like wood fired,
but kilns. It's all very unpretentious and very. Sharing the artisan information, not like, oh, look at the, I curated all these anonymous shits. It's like, no, these are like the people.
Yeah. And he gets into the people story. I mean, that guy's a legend. The dude's a legend.
Well, is it weird for you, Chris, to think that like there's people that might like look to you that way, or is that like a position that you relish? Because like, you're a great guy. I mean, you did the live show for us. You come on the pod. Like, is that weird for you? Do you enjoy that?
I don't see. The thing is I don't think about it because I don't have I'm not that active on social media.
Okay. And like, you think that's the thing that like
Terry's super active.
Okay.
Yes. But
like, you think, but even just like in person and talking about that, sharing that knowledge, like that was, I think, what was the most fascinating thing about the Aaron podcast. Because regardless of Aaron being active on social media, which obviously he is, arguably more than all of us combined, but like his the willingness and almost like the joy that he gets from sharing information and how much he relishes that elder statesman role. Like that's something you don't really think about, or just like natural.
Well, I think it's one of those things like that Aaron's that way because he's not thinking about it. Aaron's that way because that's his personality and he's into sharing. And I think with Aaron, like, his circle is a little bit wider in terms of like his exposure to people and like, and how he shares that information. I would say like, I would love to, like, I don't know if I actually aspire to be that, but I would love it. And I would love to be able to mentor and chop it up and talk shop with whoever wants to hear it.
Speaking of social, are you less out there by design? Do you want to be more out there? Like, have you had that conversation with yourself at all?
No, you guys gave me shit last time for having a private IG.
Oh, is it still private?
Is it open? It's open now.
It might be open now. I think so. But you guys gave me shit for having a private IG.
Yeah, that's whack. And also, like, we're trying to help you. We're trying to give you clout, motherfucker. Oh, you got to open your IG at least.
Yeah.
God damn, you got to give us something to work with here, bro.
Yeah. I just think it's because, I don't.
You know what I was called you're an innkeepersman. Are you still?
No, that shit.
Oh, you flipped that shit? All right, I'm on follow
That
with
shit
them.
was done. Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Dan, do you regret?
Shit.
So, for those that don't know, Chris was an innkeepersman for a little like small home situation up in New York. Do you regret selling it before the real estate boom in upstate New York because of this?
I sold it right on the real estate boom. I bought it in 2 years.
A real boom.
2 years, I flipped it for 175,000 grand profit. So,
woo, and
that's a lot of decks.
And you like renovated the fuck out of that. Like, that shit was prime, but you did it all yourself. So
I did it all myself.
Getting it stored by some contractor.
Of that 175K profit, how much went to ornamental ceramics? And how much went to kids like college funds?
1,500 probably to ornamental ceramics.
Hell yeah. Well, I mean, listen, the big dog needs to eat. And this man fucking built this house brick by brick, fucking redid every shingle by shingle. Let him cop some fucking ceramics.
That shit was ass. That shit was ass before you fucking put your little.
It was a real fixer-upper, yeah?
Oh, yeah. It was a dump. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm saying it was ass. It was a piece of shit, of ass before you went in there and fucking ripped up the rugs and sanded the floors or whatever you did. I don't know.
But you don't care about social. You're over it. You're like, listen, I'll open up the Instagram, which apparently you don't even know if that's happened, and you leave it at that.
Yeah, I'm into it though. Like I mean, I'm into sharing. But I'm not trying to I'm not worried about the followership.
You're not worried about engagement and all the shit that James.
You think you're at 29 something right now, 2,900 something. Do you think you'll crack 3K after this?
Is he open though? Is he private or open?
I'm open. I'll probably lose a couple followers. Actually.
Oh yeah, no.
You wish, bro.
Your family, your wife, your children's fake accounts that you're holding for them. They're gonna.
I don't even have those. I don't even have those.
Hashtag get Chris Green to 3K challenge. We'll see.
No, get Chris Green to 1K.
Give me down to
cancel
under
Chris Green.
Yeah, cancel.
Yo, be careful what you wish for, bro.
Yeah.
These fucking savages. We can activate them like a terrorist cell in 1 second.
I want to manifest that.
I mean, how many people listen? 2 or 3?
18 million.
Jeez.
We
just cracked in 9 months. We cracked 1 million downloads. We're now 1.1 million. So
what's downloads? All right, but what's the listen? Is it like 2 seconds and then off? Or
we actually don't.
Is it like a Netflix video where you watch the first 5 seconds and it's over and that counts?
I mean, probably, but
we're not out here investigating drop-off rates. We just take the number and we throw it in a deck. That's all that matters.
I like it. Yeah.
But the more you give them, and that's why.
Who's going to your biz dev?
This fucking guy.
And business is booming.
He's not a businessman. He's a business man.
Yeah. It's actually been a lot of fun doing the biz dev stuff. Because you're playing with house money because we have the Patreon to that's our backbone, right? So anything else is kind of just icing on the cake. So it's fun to do stuff that we only do stuff we want to do is basically
like when Stussy approaches us, we'll do that as a favor, obviously. To you, but that's
we'll see what the pitch is, right? And we'll see what the rev share is. But okay, Chris, speaking of development and being big homies and having mentees, they sadly cannot be with us tonight. Chuck is currently getting fucking litty off a free sake bottle that we flowed him at the rrestaurant he's at, where he's celebrating a very important birthday. Is he
inside or outside right now?
Probably outside.
I would guess. Probably outside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chef had to jump.
Inside.
We keep it kosher. This is a very safe podcast.
Yesterday was the first day where you could eat inside, and
that's why
walking around, I couldn't. No, I saw one old couple eating inside. I was like, yo, I'm nervous for you. Also, I don't think restaurants are really necessarily that set up yet for indoor dining.
Yeah.
Here in New York.
It'll happen eventually, but.
What about where you are? Are people wearing masks in Virginia?
What's the deal? You're in a battleground. Well, not really even a battleground state.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I mean, some people are. I am. Some people don't give a shit about other people down here. So.
Right.
Yeah, we got boogaloos down here too, which is fucking crazy.
Damn.
That's unfortunate. Are they getting fitted out in Hawaiian shirts?
Are you a boogaloo or are you
fitted and kitted out with guns and everything? It's fucking crazy. Yeah, shit's real down here. I mean, we have the statues that all got ripped down. Shit's real.
Yeah.
Just real.
Ban
All that
guns.
shit needed to come down, and the lease statue's still up, which that shit needs to come down.
Those motherfuckers look like Metal Gear Solid Maui edition, bro. It's fucking ridiculous.
It's
But
crazy.
it's kind of cool. I don't know. Fuck.
Well, we do want to leave the world a safer
Yeah.
place for our children. And speaking of our children, they couldn't be here with us tonight. However, we are going to channel them
Yeah.
in this segment, 60 Seconds of Thirst, where we're going to ask you a Chuck-S question. We're going to ask you a Chef-S question.
Mhm.
First up, we'll go to Chuck. Chuck, 30 Seconds of Thirst. Hey, Chris. You said you like furniture, and does the name Herman Miller mean anything to you? And if I wanted to level up from Herman Miller, what's a brand I should look at that's like, one step beyond the champagne of chairs?
Man, yeah, you should definitely level up from Herman Miller. Ruud Koki is a good one to look at. He was a designer in the 80s.
Okay.
RUDDVANKOKKE.
No, you just looked that up on Google right now.
Hey, look, real facts. There's no Google
Oh,
looking.
wow, dude. You're like Rain Man for Johns.
Yeah.
Or I guess in this case, furniture, anything cool and tasteful that is a waste of money.
All right. So Ruda Meki.
Okay, very cool. Thank you, Chuck. That was very, very tight.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chris.
You're welcome, Chuck.
Chef, over to Chef. What's up, Chef? 30 Seconds of Thirst.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So Chris, what Chris was saying that really fucking stuck for me. I love music. You mentioned that when you were working in the stock room at Abercrombie, you were a straight edge punk kid. What are some of your favorite punk bands and records?
I mean, when I was coming up, American Nightmare was big. Count Me Out was big. Strike Anywhere had kind of just started towards the tail end of that for me, but I was more in that transitional, like post-hardcore, like Texas Is the Reason, Sunny Day Real Estate vibe. I mean, Texas Is the Reason is probably my ultimate favorite band.
It's like the like those early proto emo bands, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. But if you listen to it today, it would still hold up. Like it would still hold up as like something that they were putting out today, and no one would know the difference. Yeah.
Those are classics.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, boys, for chipping in.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate that.
Participating. We love to see you guys just constantly coming.
Yeah, well done. I think those were the best questions that they've asked in a minute. Great job, guys. Yeah, maybe best ever. You heard it here first from Chris Green.
Chris, despite having zero social cloud, you are a taste lord, and we're either going to get you to 3K or 1K. We want to know what you're fucking with and what you're not fucking with. Again, you are just like your taste levels are on par with this podcast. That's why you had you on. So we're gonna play a little segment. Fuck with, not fuck with.
That's a working title.
A working title there.
Since the live show.
Maybe you can merchandise the title for us. But we want to know first up what brands you are currently fucking with.
I'm fucking with Bryant Giles. I don't know if you guys know him.
Mm-hmm.
He's an artist. And he does every once in a while, he does like merch drops or clothing drops.
I think he was in an 18 East, not like an ad campaign, but he was wearing, I think he's friends with that dude, Cameron. I don't know. Chris, if you're familiar, but yeah, he's like a low key Johns guy himself too, right?
Yeah. He's definitely a Johns head. Yeah. Yeah. But he did a drop recently where he did like his illustrations on some merch and stuff like that. And what I think he's just got an interesting take on his artwork and kind of the amount of content that he keeps putting out. His artwork is really cool. And that he's mixing it in with product. I mean, he's not actually like, it's not like he's creating whole lines or anything like that. It's just like spur of the moment. Yeah, it's even crazy too. Like I copped a pair of pants from him and like a couple months ago and they still haven't come. So it's like he's not like,
right. He's on that online ceramics wave.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
TF, the TF merch wave.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah. It's like, okay, yeah, you'll get it shipped at some point in the next year or so. So
sure.
Chris, did you cop the podcast shorts?
I did not cop the podcast shorts. I hope they're 5-inch inseam though.
They are. The reason they took so long is that we got every single pair hemmed to 5 inches, and I'm wearing them right now, and they are absolutely motherfucking spectacular.
You got them hemmed to 5 inches? Why didn't you just get them produced? with
They
5-inch inseam.
Dude, we're not.
They didn't
we're not,
exist.
We
We're
were
not production men. We're not.
Come
we're
on,
not
man.
product
You
guys.
bought the champion shorts. You cut off the logo, and they were too long.
See, here's the thing,
Nope,
bro. You
not
can't
champion.
buy champion mesh shorts in Hunter Green, Pantone of the year. You can't do that. We found a solution. We found a way with pockets, and everybody has them, and everybody is very happy. And I will leave it at that.
Except for the one guy who's
manual.
No. No, they're not that
You
nice.
should've hit
They're
up.
not
I
that
know,
nice,
dude.
bro.
They're not that nice.
Because we sold them for $45. Eric sells the shorts like 120 bucks, bro.
Yeah,
$40.
You bought them all from Alibaba. Had them shipped here and then reworked them all.
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
we brought up it's a brand called Hampion. It's from
from New Hampshire.
China. Yeah,
From New Hampshire. Yeah,
yeah, they're made with real ham. It's good.
yeah, sick.
What other brands you're fucking with that you want to shout out right now?
I'm fucking with Camille Fortunes.
Yeah.
You love
Yeah.
that. You were wearing that,
That
shit
was-
on
damn, dude.
on the live show. No.
Yeah,
How much are they paying you, bro? What the hell?
He's a homie. Like he pays me nothing. We've supported him since day one, season 1.
Yeah.
And
He was in Toto.
he was in Toto. Yeah, I fuck with him hard. Like the stuff that he makes is
What's the
is
pedigree?
super nice.
Is there a pedigree? Like, did he work for somebody else, or is he self-taught?
No, he's a architect by trade. He went to school to be an architect,
Like Virgil
and-
Abloh, another great designer.
Right.
I think Chris, you froze. I think you froze.
Nah,
It's like
I didn't freeze.
it's like when Trump denounced white supremacists. Stand by.
Virgil,
Yeah,
stand
no,
down
I'm
and
not
stand
gonna,
by.
I'm not gonna say stand down and stand by. It's just Virgil does what he does. It's just not. It's not my taste.
Not for you.
Yeah, it's not for me.
Right.
But respect to all the paths that he's blazed and everything that he's done. It's just not it's not my taste. His product's
Right.
not my taste.
For sure.
There's lots of stuff like that. It's not my taste. Like I'm not going
Not
to hate
for
on
you.
it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's just not for me. Like I'm not the goal of the end consumer with what he does for Off-White. I'm not the goal of the end consumer
Right.
for what he does with Louis. It's just not me.
Right.
You have
But
plenty
Camille-
as a renovator and craftsman. You have plenty of zip ties at home.
Yeah.
Tons.
And good
Tons.
to know that the not fuck with portion of the next segment is going to go completely terrible since you're such a positive dude, but whatever. We'll cross that bridge when we come.
Who else? Let's name
Yeah.
one more brand because again, you are fucking.
Yeah, no, I fuck with Camille Fortunes, but he's got this vibe of he does have a little bit of this Comme des Garçons in him.
Sure.
But it's his own twist and take, and he's like you have to look deep into the collection, but he's got these crazy references from old FUBU stuff and just crazy stuff that you wouldn't see, and you see the layers of it come up into his collection. And you're like, oh wow, that's pretty intelligent how you put that together.
I might be thinking way off here, but is there also a lot of kind of more feminine touches in it, like a lace detail or
always?
yeah,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
That's the whole shit.
I usually wear pearls that he made, and they're just it's cool. It's
Is it a pearl necklace?
No, it's a pearl bracelet.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cute.
He came all over your
it is
wrist.
cute.
Yeah. He busted
Yeah,
on
it's
your
cute.
on your wrist.
all over the wrist.
Wristicle.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
who else? Who else are we fucking with? That was pretty good.
I fuck with Simone Rocha too. I mean, that's a women's brand.
Right.
But
Do you wear women's clothing at all? I mean, you're such a.
I have some stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
What do you? Because
that shit doesn't scare me.
Right.
not at all. And you're such a head that you appreciate the product. It doesn't matter again if
Yeah.
matter if
I have a few women's Jill pieces that definitely can read just like men's.
Right.
do you freak it and swap the buttons so it's on the men's side, or do you?
No, I wear it on the women's side.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me.
Most people don't know that. Like the average person.
Yeah.
is not gonna-
Yeah, they're just
but
why do
if-
the buttons feel weird? Yeah,
Yeah.
no. Yeah.
Why does this make my tits pop?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got some women's Margiela,
Pennies?
some women's comb stuff. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
fire.
Nice. Is that because at a certain point when you've just you have all of the clothing for your own gender, you got to just seek out what's left? Is that
No,
how it
I
goes?
think it comes down to menswear is pretty restrictive in shape and
Sure.
silhouette, and pretty restrictive with traditional fabric. And there's a brand like Camille will kind of freak it and go after something that has a feminine palette to it. Same with Legacy. They do the same thing.
Yeah.
They'll use a feminine fabric, and there's not a lot of men's brands that are doing that.
Right.
And for my taste and what I like, I enjoy that.
I got the lacy shirt from Lagace, and Lawrence made fun of me. But
No.
who's
It's just
fucking whack now, Lawrence.
Sleeveless or what?
No, it's like the white with like it's kind of like striped, but it's like
Yeah,
lace.
yeah. I mean,
and solid lace,
but the
solid
thing
lace,
is
solid long
like
sleeve.
it's fucking Bodhi. That's the same thing.
Sure.
Like, you know,
And to be
she
clear,
does the same thing.
To be clear, I wasn't somehow criticizing James. It's just distracting to podcast with someone when their nipples are fully torqued
Yeah.
into the screen. That's all
Yeah,
I'm saying.
and-
It's about being a
and-
professional. You wouldn't wear it to work. Don't wear it to podcast.
What do you mean? I wore it to work. I'm a professional podcaster.
Yeah, I'm
Retired
probably not going to have my
professional
nipples out,
Right.
but you know,
Free the nipple. Chris,
Titties out.
you're a very consistent. Like your style has always been consistent because I think you know who you are and like what your style is throughout the years. But has there ever been a phase that you look back on, a style phase where you're just like, what the fuck was I thinking?
I wouldn't say what the fuck was I thinking. I would say like I was definitely, you know, I came through through a very heavy menswear era, as you guys did too. I mean, if you were in the game in 2012, 2010, 2013, like menswear was like a thing, and traditional tailoring and you know, those fits it was like peacocks. It's like the peacocks
Right.
of pity. Like that was like a moment. And
Unless you weren't a
You know?
sheep like me.
That shit didn't age that great, but I don't know about you. I still have pieces like an Isaiah suit that like I can now wear with a denim Western shirt.
Yeah,
And I love
for
it.
sure.
So it's
And,
like
like,
just finding
like-
a new way to kind of translate the same.
yeah,
aesthetics
we
that
had
you
like a
definitely
huge Alden program back in the day. And like,
Hell yeah.
I still have a bunch of those that are super fucking fire that, you know, I like sneakers, but I'm not a sneakerhead. I'm not chasing releases. Like there's definitely cool sneakers out there, but you know,
I feel like personal style is something that has been a hot topic for the Throw Gang. And while personal style is a hard thing to like, not just discuss, but to give advice on, but do you have any foundational advice when it comes to like finding like the sweet spot or attempting? Because it's a lot of hit and
Yeah.
miss for young guys.
yeah, I would say if you're chasing the recognition, you're going to be disappointed when you buy shit. Like it's that, oh yeah, I'm gonna love this. You buy it, it comes, you're like, fuck, what was I thinking?
Sure.
You know, dress for what you're comfortable in.
Right.
And first of all, dress for yourself. Second of all, you got to dress for the boys.
Absolutely.
You know?
Does your wife
Yeah.
hate your style?
Yeah. What does she think?
Oh my God. She fucking can't stand how much stuff I have.
But what about the actual like the sense of style? Or is that because
Yeah.
she's in the industry? Did she kind of like it?
Does she get it?
I mean, she ends up wearing a lot of my shit anyway.
That's fucking great.
Fucking women,
Yeah.
am I right?
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
Can I get
she
my
has-
hoodie back? Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. She ends up wearing a lot of my stuff. But I think she just doesn't like the amount that I have.
Sure.
Cause I'm definitely like, I like this pant. I'm a cop in two or three colors kind of guy. And
You're a
then when
high
you do that-
volume shooter.
But yeah, but when when it's a Jill Sander pant, then it becomes
Yeah.
like a problem.
Sure.
Yes.
Yes.
You know,
How
Absolutely.
much money, to circle back to the segment, unprecedented again, how much money do you think you spent on Johns in your lifetime?
The record.
I guarantee that you will not break
Yeah.
the record of what was
Adam
mentioned
Pally.
on a previous podcast that shall not
Yeah.
be named.
Yeah, Adam Pally threw down the
Mm.
gauntlet. Which
So don't worry, you're not
Well,
going to be like Gauche and like break fucking records here, unless you're.
unless you
but
are, unless you're
think about
psychopath.
it. Think about it. Like I got that allowance every year, twice a year.
Yeah.
So does that count?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like you're still pulling,
No.
you're still pumping
Maybe.
money into the Johns economy.
And if
Yeah.
you factor in free shit, then yeah, we're all approaching a number. Everyone on this podcast is
Hey,
approaching a
I
number
will
that's going
say-
to hurt a
I
lot
will
of people's
say, like,
feelings.
I wasn't on many flow teams.
Really?
Like,
I guess because
yeah,
you were in retail, right? So it's different. You
Yeah,
had
and-
access, but you had to fucking buy at a discounted rate. But you had
No,
to.
but I never asked. You know, like I never really.
Well, you never
like,
ask. I mean, even me, the thirstiest motherfucker on Sesame Street, I never directly ask. I find a
always
roundabout way
Okay.
to end up at the final destination, but I never am
Yeah.
going to ask. I just get creative with it.
Yeah.
By the way, I wanted to ask you, Chris, how does the Stussy Gore-Tex fit? How does
Yeah.
it fit?
You'd probably be. What are you in that Barber? Large, Supreme Barber, large.
Yeah, I think it's a large.
Yeah, you'd be large.
Yeah. All right. So that's my size. My size is a large.
Your
When-
bottom,
when is
bottom
this-
would be your bottom would be a medium though.
Right. So you
When-
guys
when
have
is
my
this-
size.
when is
Now
this
you have my
dropping?
sizes. You
When
have
is,
my
and when is
sizes.
this dropping?
It already dropped, but we're gonna have another one come too.
Right. So for the next one now, that's so crazy. You know my sizes. I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
See, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
Expert. precision, efficiency.
Well, I know we'll have
Not
your
awkward
size
and weird.
for launch. We'll have your size for launch. It might sell out though.
Yeah.
Flex.
Yeah.
The way you do it is you mention it on the podcast, and then
only
you
way.
like,
Yeah.
and then they get tagged, and then that's what you meant.
Which is how you just got on Trey Bien flow team, correct? Right? Literally, this just happened for you, James.
Yeah.
So who hit you up
who hit you up from Travian? Simon?
Simon.
Hey, Simon, if you're listening,
Hey,
he's only one
Simon?
half of a duo, and I have more clout. Hit me up.
Simon, if you're listening, bro, we've shared falafel multiple times. Put me back on flow team.
Oh, wow. A direct request. You love to see it. Only in hour
kidding.
3.
I'll let
Yeah.
you know what. I'll let you know what I get flowed so that you don't request that, because you don't want to share John's with a fellow teammate on flow. That's for sure.
Yeah, I feel you.
All right, let's get into brands you're not fucking with.
Yeah. Do you want to tear anybody down? Any hardworking creatives like Virgil Abloh?
No. I think, there's no tear down there.
I know,
Like
I
the
was
thing
kidding.
is you realize quickly if you're in this industry, and this is also for people that also have these fucking hot takes all the time, is that the industry is small and you never know who is going to work at the next brand that you want to work with.
We are fucked, James.
Yeah.
And
This is all we can ever do.
What if we end up working at Kith? Like,
I love
mean-
Ronnie. Ronnie's my guy. Fuck you.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, you can hate on Kith all you want, but like, look at the fucking empire he's built, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Nothing but respect for my president.
that's so
my king.
that's so sick. And the thing is like, I mean, yeah, it's super corny to like do Looney Tunes and shit like that, but like,
Supreme just did the Smurfs, so
I know, but like,
Which I
to me,
hate.
like, literally, that's super corny, and that's something that
That
internally I was
sucks so
you
bad.
I hope we never do something like this. Like,
What about for your kids though? Like, do your kids fuck with like small blue cartoons?
Yeah, but like, I'm not even going to allow them to fuck with it.
Yeah,
Like,
that's fair.
There's certain times you have to shield them and protect kids
Chris,
from like terrible
remember-
things in the world.
Remember, it's a small industry.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know it is, but the thing is like, I'm not hating on them for it because I'm saying they've built an amazing
Right.
business. They've had a great brand, but like, I'm not fucking with that product.
Right.
Speaking of something that is the opposite of small, like this game of ours, boys, your sneaker collection is definitely massive. What is your current rotation?
Man, I've been wearing.
You're literally
The-
gazing out into the distance,
Into the middle
thinking
distance.
longingly about all of your sneakers, and it's pretty fucking hilarious to watch.
Yeah, yeah. I was just thinking about I just purged a bunch of stuff too.
Really? Flip.
Yeah,
Flip it down.
Yo,
no,
Chris, we are
no.
the same
Nephew.
shoe size. So
my nephew. Oh, dude,
The luckiest
so
motherfucker on the face of the
Yeah.
earth.
wait, you gave him all your Stussy Nikes?
Well, not the good shit. He only gave him the bad shit.
No, I gave he got every Yeezy that ever came out for like the first 2 years.
So,
How
like
much?
I said,
And
all
then
the bad shit.
did he flip them
Yeah.
for money? And
Yeah.
did he become one of these like teen entrepreneurs that's huge on
Nah,
Snapchat?
he wears them. The rule is you got to wear them. I would never give it to him with a box.
I love that.
Oh,
are they
no
are they on
box.
ice? Are they freshies or are they been worn?
They're all freshies, no box.
No, like, dude, he's sitting on his fucking college education. What are you doing, dude?
He's getting an education right now. He's fine.
Oh, is he? How old is he? He's like older. Is he
He's
listens?
19.
Does he listen to the show?
I mean,
Probably.
he's not a virgin, so probably not.
Oh, damn.
Are you going to
Yeah.
promote this show because he would see it on your IG?
Yeah, I will promote it. Yes. I
Well,
will
now
put it in
we
my
get
story,
you
yeah.
down to 1,000 followers, and then cancel your promotion will be
Cancel,
worthless.
Yeah.
What was the hardest
No.
pair to part ways with in the purge?
I gave him a pair of the Mars Yard.
Oh no! What's wrong with you? Wait, because what do you
Yeah.
have? Like 2 more pair. That's why, right?
I have one more. Yeah.
1.0 or 2.0?
2.0. Got it.
2.0. Come on. Nobody's got 1.0.
Well, that's a
got one-
college education right there. That's a month
1.0
of
is
college
our
education.
Good as is.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
damn,
I mean,
that's-
I'm fucking with the Asics Kikos. I have,
Love those.
I have every version that came out so far.
So do you
except for
have
the
the-
latest?
The OG trio, the Gel Burrs 1, you have the slimes, the tans, and the black. You have that initial run,
Yes.
and do you wear them?
Yes.
I remember running into you on the street, and you had the slimes on. And I just remember being so butthurt on a nuclear level because those are like, I mean, you can't even buy those at resale because
Nope.
like everyone who got that shoe, like just loves that shoe and wears that shoe because
Where's it? Yep.
damn,
Yep.
fuck.
Yeah. I wear them all. Yeah. I wear them all. The thing is, I don't buy anything to collect. I buy it to wear.
Build decks
Right.
in.
Yeah.
Did we
What's
ever
the point? Like you make product to get it out there.
That's sick that you want to fucking wear, dude. I agree. I'm the same way, bro. I don't keep anything. I don't buy like multiples like you do, so I could like replace things. I know James is a fan of that strategy. That's
but to wear them so that you can wear them for the next 10 years.
No, I get it. I guess I like discovering so much new shit that there's never been something that was so perfect that I felt like I had to stock up. God forbid it ever got this.
I would say that partnership with ASICS is probably one of the most perfect partnerships that they've had.
I agree. Is that
in
still
terms of
going
collaborations?
On?
He's going to release his last model that's co-branded with Kiko this season, and it's going to be 3 colors. They had a 4th, but the 4th didn't make it production. But then he's actually with the female, the twins,
right? The
Laura
designers,
Dina, the designers. They're working together to create inline ASICS product for ASICS that's even better. And they're launching their first one in November, and it's sick. Like it looks like a collaboration shoe. It's just in general release. Yep.
That's sick.
And so it's going to be a much more friendly price point too.
Well,
yeah, probably.
The collab's like 300, 400?
No, how about they weren't
240.
Yeah, they're not terrible. It's like that's what Nike does now too. It's a little bit like extortion, but like I guess if the whole idea is premium material or some type of proprietary, like the ASICS shit, I always wanted to pay more because I'm like, this is proprietary start to finish. He's not picking colors on models.
No,
like
it's his
designing shoes. It's like, exactly.
Yeah.
So
it's super intelligent.
I would pay more. Yeah,
it's the Kiko model.
Do you have are your favorites the Gel-Burst one? Sorry, I know James is very bored. He's not like a huge Kiko.
I'm catching up on text. It's
but
cool.
do you have another model that you love? Like, or what is your favorite model if it's not the Gel-Burst one?
I mean, Gel-Burst one is good. It was the one after that with the ribs on it. Yeah. I can't remember I
have the Mayor McCheese ones, the yellow and the orange.
I have those in every color.
The whites are so good.
Yep. Damn. They had white, they had black and charcoal, black and purple, yellow, green. I got them all.
The green is fire too. Yeah, that's a banger. Yeah, I forget the name too. All right, cool. So
is that your entire rotation just Kiko ASICS?
Yeah.
No, and then I mean the house shoes when I'm inside the Pradas, and then the Solomon Snowbox are a secret sleeper for me. I have them in the black and also in the tan. You guys should look them up. They're sick. They're just slip-ons.
Lawrence about to.
They're recovery shoes. They're recovery shoes, but they're like super. Yeah,
this is what the Broken Arm collabed on for the Mule.
Yeah. So it was an inline shoe. They collabed on the Mule, but they did a full-fledged like non-Mule.
Yeah. These are great.
And they did. Yeah.
Wait, you building these? What about you could like crush your foot with like a 2x4?
All good.
You're just pirouetting with fucking tools and heavy machinery.
All good.
You're a fucking legend.
Have you ever seriously maimed yourself while building?
I've shot a nail in my finger before with a nail gun.
Oh,
how? Aren't nail guns like that? You need to like press. How do you do that? Fucking idiot.
Reaching around on the other side. I went through the wood.
Oh, wow.
God,
wait, so you had a board nailed to your fucking hand?
Kinda, yeah. Like the corner of it. Yeah, it was gnarly.
Jesus Christ. That's did you sustain any permanent damage? Like nerve damage? No? Okay.
Good.
Woo-hoo. Damn, dude. Well, at least you probably were wearing a super cool fit when you did it. So you go to the hospital, you're like, at least this guy looks dope.
At least your pearl bracelet was safe, you know?
It was safe, yeah.
God forbid.
All right. What about, do we want to do a Mount Rushmore sneakers all time? Or is it
all
just,
time?
I blacked out, but it sounded like it's just going to be Kiko ASICS.
I could do it. No, I could do it all time. So
colorway preferably as well. We'd like you to get as specific as possible.
So Prada, they launched it in fall, winter 15, cap toe, just a basic cap toe tennis shoe. Kind of looks like
I thought you were going to say the Soul Cycle ones.
No,
the Cloudbusters.
No, hell no. Come on.
Cloudbusters. I forgot you call them that. Speaking of fucking pearl wristicles, dude, the Cloudbusters.
That to me is the all-time.
You got busted out from the clouds, dude.
Sneaker. I don't know if you consider it's not a dress. It's just a sneaker. It's just like
it's a tennis shoe, right?
Yeah, a tennis shoe. It's like nothing fancy to it.
All right, so that's your Abe Lincoln.
Sure, that's my one. I would say the Workshop Converse.
Wow. Well, yeah, you got a lot of got a lot of pairs.
Those are
probably
sick
have like
it's such a basic shoe. It's such a basic shoe, and everybody understands it, knows what it is. But they flip the switch by over dyeing it and put their patch on it. You can technically, you used to only be able to get them by going to the store.
Right.
Like, to me, that just the fact that you have to work that hard to get them, and there's such small runs, they make them special.
Yo, I didn't know that Converse was sending them product to work on.
Yeah.
But in very small quantities. Do you when you go to workshop, do you also go to Gunther's hot dog stand?
No, I haven't.
That's the move, bro. You black out at workshop. You blow many bags.
Dude, it was overwhelming going there. Like, I had to go in 3 successive days to figure out what I wanted.
Well, it's crazy because it really is like, Joachim said, this is like a record shop, right? So like you're unearthing like different sections and nooks of the store. We're just like, whoa, I didn't see this. It was behind this like stack of jackets. There's a whole nother fucking rack of like knits. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Number 3.
Yes. Who's your Teddy?
Definitely it is going to be, is probably the Stussy New Balance collab.
Yes, those were great. The V4s. That's
the V4s. That
just
white,
a
that
different shade
V4.
of fucking, that you can't get. That's a great, and that, I think that kind of, at least my perception, correct me if I'm wrong, if you disagree or whatever, Chris, but that felt like an amazing collab that teed them up for Nike.
Yeah, it was so, like, they've been doing Nike for years. Like their first Nike collab was 20 years ago. So like,
well, when was the last time before the Air Spiridon though? The first release, like when had they done a Nike collab? How recently?
Oh, it had been ages.
Exactly. And that's my point. But the fact that shoe was done so tastefully, it was so, if you know on like just this, because that was when New Balance, that was even before the New Balance, like as a go-to shoe was like even cresting. So it was ahead of the curve, forward thinking, and it was just different enough, but still super accessible and tasteful. To me, that was just like, I wish I could get a pair, and I could.
Yeah, they're sick. They're sick. I still have them. I beat them to death. I still wear them. They're good. And like the branding on it was super subtle. It was like there was no logoing on the outside. It was cool. I mean, New Balance is on a tear right now. Like they're on a tear. What
do you think of that? That the New Balance love.
Do
you wear New Balance?
Yeah.
He still wears his New Balance.
Oh, the Stussies.
Yeah.
Right. I meant generally as a brand, like, do you wear like gray 992s? That's what.
Yeah. And I have like the double taps.
Great.
Those are cool. Like I thought the re-release of the 2002 that they're doing in like the basic colors, it's such a super slick shoe, and they have that collaboration coming out of Korea right now. Like, what is it called? That store in Korea that's doing a collab on them. They're so good. One thing, not another, or something. This is not that, or whatever it's called.
Yeah. This not that.
This not that. That shoe in the gray is so slick. And I feel like that is like, to me, those are like underground sleepers, because everybody's chasing like the Nike Sakai X, Y, and Z and to get that flash. But I feel like the New Balance is doing a good job. And Teddy just put out that fucking basketball low, that court low. That's going to
550.
Yeah, that thing's going to be
the most.
Yeah, that thing's going to be cool. Time. Yeah. And then
It's this never that is that story.
This never that. Yeah. You're right. This never that. You're right. And then the last one on the Rushmore. So I got 3 up there. Man.
No Nikes so far, right? Am I tripping? No Nikes.
I know. No Nikes. I love Nike.
But too obvious. No, I get it.
It's not that it's too obvious. It's that.
Would you wear Jordans? I feel like you're not a Jordans guy.
No.
Or do you? No. So then, I mean, that's, I don't know if, like, I know a lot of people really like the Mars Yard. That's a big one for me. I don't know, but I probably rate Tom Sachs, more as like a fucking streetwear kid.
Yeah. Gel Burrows 1, the Kiko. Yeah.
Fantastic.
That's number 4. That's my Rushmore. Yeah,
great Rushmore. Right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the post sneaker world for a second. Obviously, you are a sophisticate you're not a fucking sheeple, even though you wear a mask. You're not chasing hype. You're not chasing clout. You're not chasing these fucking super rare releases. You like what you like and you cop what you cop. What do you think of the post sneaker world? Do you think it's going to trickle down to the peons and the youth? And then like, what are you fucking with within the non-sneaker space?
I mean, I've been fucking outside the sneaker world for a long time. Like, to me, like, Alden's making those Alden collaborations is sick. It's a great project, handmade in the US, like great materials, etc. Like most of my daily wear shoes, like outside of, the sneaker stuff that I have, it'll be usually something from Prada, which will be a derby of some sort. I did cop last year, and shockingly so, OAMC put out this clog that is so fire. It's a convertible clog. It looks like you can put the heel down to make it a mule. It's got a strap in the back, center seam stitched down the middle. It's one of the toughest shoes.
It looks like a BDSM beatnik.
Kinda, yeah.
But yeah, with the fold down back, with the fold down heel.
It's sick.
I love a crushable heel like the Loewe loafers, or Gucci does crushable loafers.
Yeah,
like
and
I want all my shit to be crushable, to be honest.
Yeah,
Crush my
it's made in the same factory that makes Jill Sander. It's made in the same factory that's making Prada. So like the quality of footwear that's being made is like top notch.
I mean, the podcast boots were made in Italy, and we demanded that. We said, do not make these outside of any
DMA.
Yeah, bro. So we know quality when we know toppings.
And I think like, just to see something like the Tabby boot take off, which is like for fashion fuck boys now, but like the Tabby loafer for men's is done really well and taken off. And like that's the Tabby babushka, just to see more and more guys wear something that's not sneakers.
Right.
It's
Little
out
PSA,
there.
fellas, stop putting things in your tabby toes and taking pictures of it.
Do people do that?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously,
like cigarettes and like,
you're not on IG like that, but that is a thing that people think is very clever.
That's not cute,
and they think it's edgy. What tabbies do you own? You own like the loafers, or
I have the babushka ones, the slip-ons.
Okay, they're called babushka.
Yeah, so like you can put down the heel or whatever. They're like slippers.
Oh, got it,
Chris. Like, I mean, that was so funny that like that was a revelation to you, like. Because you don't necessarily pay attention to the zeitgeist, like what about celebrity culture and like the celebrity intersection with fashion? Do you pay attention to that at all? Do you give a fuck? Like,
yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of funny that it's become so prominent with the music industry and the sports, like the NBA players, like everybody's caring about what they're wearing, walking out like to the game for that 5 seconds they get off the bus or whatever.
Tunnel fits.
Did you see today? I forget
so
who
bad.
It was.
So bad. I saw it.
Yeah.
The tweets.
Why do all legends die?
Yeah. The DMs. That's that was the worst. And James, you said that was the worst John you've ever seen in your life. And I would tell you that is not a John. That is a war crime.
Yeah. That's terrible.
That was a genocide.
But the thing to me is like, it's interesting to see how much play that has now. And stylists are definitely doing their job, sending them good product. So, nobody's safe anymore. Like if you had a brand that you considered like revered and you gotta be able to live through those cringe moments with it. So like,
I mean, this wasn't a cringe moment, but LeBron came out to game one in a Legace shirt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like not cringe because he's the king and like, respect.
Yeah.
But these guys like, they wear ALD, they wear needles, they wear Tom Brown short suits. Like it is, for the rappers, right? Those are the new rock stars. And I think that there are, a selection of those guys like Rocky or Tyler,
but like
Frank Ocean, Nas, whatever, but that are, they're just like throwing fits. They are creating the zeitgeist. Whereas like with the NBA players, it's very much like a 360-degree branding play. Right. Yeah. Which I guess it is even in hip hop too.
Yeah.
For the
I mean, I would say Rocky's he's pretty amazing. His style has been awesome.
What celebs? Who are the stylish celebs that like you? I mean, I'm not saying that you would like look to celebs for inspiration because you're above that, but who do you think dresses well?
I mean, Shia is my favorite.
Okay. Correct answer.
The Source.
Yep. I fucking love Shia.
TM.
Like, dude, that guy is amazing. He's
even the Gucci shit. Like when he wears suits.
As an artist and what he does, like hands down, like he's a treasure.
A national treasure, absolutely.
Yeah, okay. He's a national treasure for what we do. And like even for fashion, like he definitely started a whole wave that, I mean, obviously inspired Kanye.
Sure. 100,000%. And definitely like wears, it's not just like the fucking bummy fits or whatever the fucking the normcore shit. It's like freaking some of these Gucci suits for the runway. And I don't know how much a stylist is involved for the red carpet stuff. I'm sure there's people helping him out, but like when he wears it, it just feels so unapologetically him. This podcast is brought to you by Shia LaBeouf.
Yep.
What about non-sneaker footwear you're not fucking with? What are you seeing out there that are just like, yo, fam, like stop.
Whatever
stop it.
Lawrence posted yesterday on his fucking IG stories, those Sperry's gotta go.
Oh, yo, did you ever wear? Oh my God, dude, I wore those every day in college. But the Sperry Billfish is a tough one. Yo, Visvim makes that exact shoe.
Yeah, but it's
like-
Viz and it's not Sperry.
You know,
and
the
colors are a little bit better, and it doesn't
I'm-
remind you of going to college in the South and being like,
yeah, sure.
You know?
The pair that I had were absolutely caked in Bush Light. So
I'm sure.
they look a
Bush
little
Light
bit better
mud.
beat in. You know,
Yeah.
but there's no
are you-
trend
but
overall.
are you seeing anything out there that you're just like, yo, this needs to stop before we take it too far?
I mean, I'm stoked about how like the Triple S trend came and went really quickly.
Triple S, not
Yeah.
Triple X like Xander Cage.
No, Triple
Okay.
S. Like that went really quickly. And I know they're trying to push other crazy silhouettes and stuff like that, but that stuff is short lived. It's just going to get that moment and go away.
What about
which is
the
fine.
what about the Margiela Cum sneaker?
That was a tough one. The air rope threes.
The Air Rope threes?
the pearl necklace ones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bro. Goddamn.
so bad, so
Yeah.
bad.
Those are not.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
was XXX rated.
Was it the Fusion? What is that called? Some shit.
Who cares?
Yeah, it's the Fusion. They're selling for like $1,500 or $1,600. We had, I mean, I think
Did they move?
Nas,
Did they
I think
move?
ASAP Nas bought them from us.
Really? Damn.
Yeah,
All
he
right.
came in
In
and bought
the-
them from us.
In the
Yeah.
black colorway, because the black colorway is where it looked like cum.
Mars.
The white one you couldn't really
in like
see.
the white with the red and black.
Yeah.
whatever it
Yeah.
The
was.
OGs.
he-
Yeah. That's a little
the
bit.
OGs. He
That
came in
looks
and bought
more
those
like
from us.
trash glued together, which I know is the point, but like that doesn't
Yeah.
change the fact that they're very fucking stupid.
yeah.
Really.
All right,
bad.
Chris. Thank you for fucking with and not fucking with a lot of good things,
Working
and not
title.
fucking with a lot of bad things. Working title. Real quick before we get into the final segment of constructive criticism, we want to play a little game with you. Last John, next John. We want to know what was the last John you copped at full retail, which I know you don't get the retail break anymore, except on Stussy, I guess. How much? Do you get an employee discount on Stussy?
Yeah. How's that work? What's in the contract?
Yeah, I don't cop because I just say, hey, can you flow me?
Got it.
Oh, so you do ask.
Yeah.
Well, it's for that stuff. It's
I
like
want to
you
wear
gotta-
test. I would like to wear test it. It's part of my job. Okay,
Yeah.
bro. We.
No,
It's
no,
like actually,
it's
you it's laundry day. You need clean underwear. That's why you ask for the
I
box
shit my
briefs.
pants.
basically.
I'm so
No, I think
underqualified for this position and so nervous.
it's more like, hey, like, is this available? Yes or no? Or they usually reach out. Hey, is there anything you want from this? Whatever.
Oh, I like that. The reach out from the plug, where then we could just dismiss all the small talk. I'll give you my hits. I give you my
Yeah.
sizes.
Give me
But
that. Give me that
it's
8-ball sweater.
It's just size and address. That's it.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
size and address. Oh man, the two most beautiful words in the English
Yeah.
language, ladies and gentlemen, size and address.
Give me that
Yeah.
8-ball mohair. I'm trying to fucking Hoover dam it up, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, what was the last John you copped at full retail?
Yeah.
And then what's the next John you got your eye on? Because I know you got some fucking targets down
that
range.
hill
Yeah,
list.
I've been
Hill list
looking.
is
I've
robust.
been looking. Last John that I copped on full retail.
Oh,
Yeah,
come
it's
on. You
been-
know you copped something earlier today.
No, I didn't. I haven't copped in a while, dude. The copping has been low. The last thing I copped at full retail. Man, it's been a while since I paid full retail for anything.
Okay, what was the last John you copped with?
Oh
a
no,
discount?
no. The last thing I copped a discount is I bought the chambray shirt from Our Legacy Workshop.
Mm.
You
From
didn't get
the-
flow?
I didn't get flowed that. I bought.
Oh, so you were filling the gaps because you need, daddy needs what daddy needs.
Well, the list I sent was aggressive, and
Oh, I've been there too.
Chris,
Okay.
did you get the red and white
Yeah.
BD stripe shirt?
that was gone.
Yeah, that was my
on the,
favorite.
That was
piece.
on the list. They didn't make very many of those. I think they made like 25 of those.
I have the
I got
James. We have
a
the Hawaiian
48.
shirts.
I got a 48
Yeah.
in that, and it's too big because it's oversized. Like I would normally wear a
It's
46 or
huge.
48 Legace, but shit is like a fucking. I feel like I'm about to take off if it's a windy day, you know?
Well, why
Yeah,
don't
we
you
got
get to
the-
Lawrence?
Well,
It doesn't fit Lawrence.
I tried it on. I was trying to.
That's how big
also-
it is. Sorry.
I was trying to fuck you. I was trying to do a trade, some type of very legitimate, fair trade. But
One
that
ball
was too
tickle?
big. Yeah, but it was too big for me too. I need a 46 as well. I mean, also,
Yeah.
it's hard to tell over Zoom, Chris, but I've been very active and I've lost a lot of weight.
Chris,
Thank you
I don't know if
for asking.
I don't know if you follow Lawrence on Instagram, but unlike some people I know who take screenshots of their Strava and post it, which is a fucking workout guy flex. If I don't know, I'm not on workout gram. Lawrence keeps his gains to himself.
Yeah, I'm not out here broadcasting.
Not literally
how much
flexing.
of a wayfish twink I have evolved into while in quarantine, but I just would rather broadcast.
Is that a subtle slight towards me?
Yes.
No.
No, it's from me. It is. You screenshot the Strava and then be like, "Look, I ran 19 miles today in 2 hours."
Yeah. I mean,
Do you follow people that do that? I mean, I follow like one guy, but he's a running guy.
6:20 pace for
What?
for 10 miles. Like,
Holy shit!
don't at me.
Is that your exercise of choice? Is running?
Clearly, Lawrence does not follow you on Instagram.
I
or
do.
watch your shit. He doesn't watch
He
your
doesn't
shit.
watch my
Well,
shit.
that's possible.
That's
Listen, and that's not my problem. That's the algorithm burying your ass. Dude.
yeah, it is. And I
Don't blame me. Blame yourself.
I post so infrequently that it's not going to rise
of
to
course.
the top.
Yo, man, you're always at the left of my tray. I think it's just that we're friends, and Lawrence and you are
The
just,
left of your
professional-
tray. Okay,
Yep,
fucking
that's what's up.
Zuckerberg.
professional acquaintances. Yeah, Zuck came to fuck. Where are we?
With
Oh yeah,
that
what's the
butt.
next John you got? What's
Yeah.
the next John you got your eye on?
Uh,
Yo, wait, real quick while I'm running, what's your running fit? Because I think this is something people always ask. Like, I run or I work out, but I look like a fucking dork. What are some good workout brands and workout
so
clothes?
I have some Satisfy shorts, which those they're expensive, but they're worth every penny.
Yeah. Is that
Yeah.
Ryan Wilms's brand?
No, it's a guy. Ryan Wilms fucks with them, like they're homies
Okay,
or
yeah,
whatever. But it's a guy who actually did April '77, that denim out of Paris. So he started this running brand, Satisfy, and he's got a cafe in Paris. And his name is Brice, BRICE. And those things are, I mean, it's like $250 for a pair of running shorts. But that could be the last thing I cop at full price.
All right. What makes them worth $250? Do they like keep your balls from bouncing?
They keep your balls nice and tucked in. The materials it's the lightest running short there is out on the market. They're great.
Okay.
They're nice. They're just really expensive.
And what's the top?
The top is a self-made Roadrunner sports top. Nothing fancy. I got a Nike top too. I got some stuff like that, but nothing crazy.
And what about the shoes? I know everyone has like a different running shoe, but like, what's yours?
So I normally run in the Brooks Beast, but I did get flowed from Nike the new Hyper Next Percents, whatever they were. The black
are those what the marathon cheating joints?
Yeah.
No wonder you're running 620. You're cheating.
So my homie flowed me a pair of those, and I've been testing them out, and they're awesome.
Yeah, and breaking PRs left and right because there's
Yeah.
Is that the shit with like the steel plate that like springs you forward?
Yeah, the carbon plate. Yeah.
All right. Well, some of us like to earn our gains, I guess.
Yeah.
What about where are we? Oh yeah, next John.
Yeah, what's next? What's on your kill list?
Oof. Next, John. I mean, the last collab ASIC Kikos are definitely on the list.
Sure.
Like
In November.
in November when they roll out. Yep. That's the next John. I mean,
You got a personal order in already or what?
no, not yet. I got to hit them up.
But you're getting one of every flavor too. That's what.
Oh yeah. I'm getting all three. Yeah.
Okay.
Without a doubt. Black, gray, and red. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Chris. You are the homie. You are just an endless wealth of knowledge and good times and good vibes. That being said, I mean, not just with social, but we want to see you thrive even more so in all aspects of life.
Yeah.
And so before we get you out of here and record an ad for MyBookie, the only gambling site that matters, we want to offer up some constructive criticism. You can take it. You can leave it. We highly suggest you take it. We know what we're doing here. So, I mean, I'll go first. You talked about how Stussy is really all about longevity, about becoming a fucking, cultural touchstone, and really doing it for the right reasons, right? I would say, fuck all that, sell out, get stocked in PacSun and Zoomies. Everyone cashes out. You're rich and you get to chill in Hawaii with Sean.
Yeah, they did that. They pulled all that distribution back.
No, but now do it again and this time you get rich.
I got it. Yeah. Well,
Don't be allergic to money.
What about we get rich by just having all the distribution ourselves and selling it ourselves where we make greater margin?
Well, that's
Yeah.
that's a business model that works for some, but
Yeah, you should run the models and see what happens 3 to 5
Yeah.
years out. And let us know.
I'm saying do the bin trail model.
Yeah.
PacSun, cash out.
They
Hawaii.
teach that. They teach that in college, the bin trail model. This is a well-established thing that they teach the children. So
Yeah, I thought it was going to be another Throwing Fits collab pitch.
no.
We pitched that at
that's
the top because we
no,
knew that
bro,
David,
got
we
out
knew
of the
that
way.
Frank Sinatra Jr. was going to listen to the first 10 minutes. That's why we pitched up top, and why I was telling Lawrence to shut the fuck up about wedding bands or whatever.
Yeah.
That's all.
All right.
Again, we have the unbeatable recon about wedding bands that the people crave. Chris, we have spent a lot of time trying to milk you for your connections, for your access, whatever. But let's talk about something else that you do. You are a man with hands who can build things. And James and I would
Jesus.
love if you renovated a piece of shit country house for us that we could turn into a podcast studio a la Bob Dylan and the band and Big Pink. Could you just
That'd
like,
be sick.
yeah.
Yeah.
Could you do that?
You need
Could
to
you
take
do that for a homie rate though?
I could do it for a homie rate. Yeah.
Cool. Sick.
Yeah.
You can. We'll
Yeah.
give you the podcast boots to work in. We'll make a steel-toed
Podcast boot.
custom version for
Yeah.
you.
You need to take this show on the road.
Yeah, we do.
I mean, there's a pandemic happening. I don't know if you knew that. We are responsible.
Another night,
human
another
beings.
movie getting made right now on Zoom exclusively. Eventually coming to a city near you.
Near you. Yeah.
We're gonna fucking scream directly into
Yo,
your
let
face.
us do this in every Stussy store across the country. Let them know that Stussy
Yeah.
back,
Yeah.
shopping's back, retail back.
Stussy
dude.
Guam.
Yeah.
Yeah, yo, that'd be awesome. Have you ever been sent to Guam to check out the fucking Stussy store there?
No, I wish, but yeah, they have one in Guam. Yeah.
That's kind of cool, but also Guam sounds super depressing and like everyone's just on heroin. All right, Chris, here's the deal, right? Christopher Green, you have military roots. You have streetwear roots. Sounds like another booming streetwear brand I know. Combine these two parts of your identity and get a job at Supreme, where you oversee the collab between them and Predator drones.
Thinking about it.
Your silence says it all.
Yeah.
No, it's. I mean, bro, you
Yeah.
think there's wardrobe allowance in
Yeah.
streetwear?
Never say never.
You know how much the fucking Department of Defense gives you in wardrobe budget?
No, billions.
Yeah.
Billions.
There's a lot of money on the line. The military industrial complex ain't going nowhere.
And
No,
you can be the
it's
not.
pioneer.
And we're
You can be a pioneer of the military streetwear industrial
Complex. I don't know about you, Chris Green, but we're trying to get rich, and we will get rich at any cost whatsoever.
I feel you on that. It's about
Yeah.
making a buck.
Absolutely,
It's
dude.
about making a buck.
Speaking
The
of
right
making
way.
a buck and making it the right way on your own terms, bro, have you ever thought about opening up your own brick and mortar store and doing it your way? And a great potential name that I just came up with off the top is the Chris Green Emporium for tasteful and learned John's enthusiasts.
Yes, actually.
Yeah. What's the thought process there? Is there a timetable? Does it involve
There could be
an
something
in-house line? Because
There could be
I'm
something
sure-
in the works. There could be something.
Okay. Oh, really? And is that a retail experience? Is that an apparel thing? Is that an apparel play?
I would say
Both?
retail experience.
Okay.
Would
Interesting.
we be able to potentially experience this if we lived in New York City?
I don't know, but I'd put you guys on flow team for whatever we get. I know that.
Hell
Oh.
yes.
Okay.
Are you going
I
to
like
be
that?
stocking Lagace? Because that would be fire.
Yes.
I mean,
Oh.
again, your Rolodex is fucking deep. So
Yeah. There's nobody this man does not know.
keep us posted on that. And you definitely are going to need help with your social media. So you can hire
Yeah.
Throwing Fits LLC creative agency to consult on that. We got you.
We'll make
memes
you
for
some memes.
memes for days, bro.
Yeah.
Memes for days.
Tasteful memes for learned John's enthusiasts.
Yes. Foreskin
I like it.
Johns right there.
Together.
Margella shoe come. Margella come shoe.
Yes.
All right, Chris. Constructive criticism, take it or leave it. We highly suggest you take it. Where can the kids follow you? Plug your social media. This is where you get up to 3,000 or down to 1K.
Hashtag cancel Chris Green. You know the vibes. Let's go.
Do
Where
not
the kids-
cancel. That,
Where can the
what did
kids
I do?
cancel you at? Where can the kids cancel you at?
On IG, Christopher X Green.
With an
X
E
is
at the
your
end.
straight edge.
Greene.
Are you
No
still
E
straight
at the
edge?
end.
You're not still
What?
straight edge.
Christopher X Green. Yeah, no E at the end.
No,
Oh,
E
my
at the
bad.
end, bro.
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
You're not still straight edge, are you?
Still straight edge, yeah.
You are. Is that the X?
Yeah.
The throwback.
Having two
throwback,
kids doesn't
yeah.
want to make you.
I mean, it does desperately, but,
Yeah.
you know,
I
Yeah.
feel that.
All right. Anything you want to plug? Like, I don't know, a streetwear brand you work for or something? Like, in case you haven't heard of it.
Just get ready. 40th anniversary. It's going to drop.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. Breaking fucking news, bitch.
October, November are going to be fucking heat.
Bangers, slappers only, absolute smackers.
Hit us on the side. We'll
You know our
side
size address. Yep.
Yep. So a large
have
and
Joachim send it
medium.
over. Yep. Yes, sir. All right, Chris. Thank you for coming on the only
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, bro.
podcast
We
that matters.
appreciate you.
Chef, hit that motherfucking hardcore punk outro music.
Woo.